Hello, everyone, and welcome to the stream. I am Raw Zim, and this is the Starlight Expeditions Pokerole, our Pokemon Mystery Dungeon tabletop campaign. This is Chapter 2, Episode 8, Oran Grove, the Scarlet Mystery. We shall begin, as usual, with introductions, starting with Rygon.
Hello everyone, my name is Rygon. I am the storyteller for this game. What that means is that I am the one who has created this world, who will be playing the NPCs, and who will be telling the players the consequences of their actions. I am the one who will ensure that things go along smoothly, so you might hear me speak up from time to time. And yeah, I hope you all enjoy the show that we're going to be presenting for you today, and I hope my players have fun.
I might have forgotten to bring this up. My bad, but that is Rygon on the screen now. So, next
Hello.
up is Amos.
Hello, I'm Wearable and I play Amos the Growlithe. And I am glad to finally be doing this game again.
All right, and for everyone's question of the day, you see another individual walking in the rain. You have an umbrella. Do you give them the umbrella or do you keep it for yourself?
Amos might initially want to keep the umbrella for themselves, but if they see the person is really struggling, they might share it.
Okay.
All right. Argus.
Hi, I'm Aurum, and I play Argus, the scaredy cat tyrant. And I'm very happy to finally have game again. I'm so excited. For the question of the day, Argus has learned that he doesn't like water because it makes him feel heavy and slow. So he would go up, but he would share the umbrella. He'd hold it up for them both to use. And maybe get a new friend. Or maybe he'll get
New
shanked.
friends are always great. Yeah,
Maybe
new
he'll
friends
just
are
sit
always
in the
great.
doorway just wondering if he should or not.
All right. Azurith.
Greetings all, I am Azurith, and I play Azurith, the Africa jangmo-o. I lost all the words besides the question of the day. As for the question of the day, Azurith would absolutely share. I mean, why not? No one would want to get wet. Unless you're dancing in the rain and singing in it, then of course just have fun in the rain.
I think that's fair.
What is dancing?
I am Zim, and I am playing Jet, the Ghost Electric type Rockruff. And I don't know if Jet would even have an umbrella in the first place. So he would share, if he did have one. Dart.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Seda, and I play Dart, the Steel Ground Rockruff. Happy to be back. Happy to plot a new course. As for the question, I mean, I think it's well known Dart has a certain dislike for water. So, absolutely would share the umbrella.
Jolene.
Hello, I am Lyndon, and I play the forgot what this region is supposed to be called. The variant to Milcery known as Jolene. Quite a being the type of person that she is, the type of mon, she would probably give that umbrella over, assuming she had one, to the person. And she probably wouldn't necessarily think about herself getting wet. She would just be like, "Oh, let's help this person." As long as they weren't being, a jerk. She might not help them then.
Ew, soggy dough.
I mean, to be fair, I'm pretty sure she's like 90% milk, 10% who knows what. So,
Watered down
90%
Jolene.
milk, 99%, 9% whatever, and 1% friend.
And then like a 0.5% moss.
that there's just there's nothing there yet. It's just a potential. That does not equal a percentage.
Shade?
Next.
All right, I am Talderius, and I am playing the as of yet not introduced Shade. And Shade would definitely not give over his umbrella, but he would point the unfortunate person stuck in the rain towards the nearest shelter. You didn't want to get in. If you didn't want to get wet in the rain, you should have brought your own.
And last but not least, Vector.
Hello, my name is Aviating Wolf. Many of you may have known me as Avi, and I play as Vector, the water-flying rockruff. And definitely would if it means to make someone happy and they need an umbrella, Vector would be more than happy to give it to them. And also that walking in the rain is always fun.
Water types are
Alrighty.
weird.
Any other details that we need to make mention tonight, Sim?
I've already paused all of the cards, but for the foreseeable future, the Stream Loots cards, as well as the influences, are not going to be allowed. Though we are still accepting tips, those will go towards art for the campaign. So if you would like to help expand the campaign and add more art and such for our characters and such, please consider doing so. Otherwise,
Should we put in a specifier that people can donate towards specific characters, and we can keep those funds in reserve for those characters?
I figured it would be like if they tip with a specific character in mind. So like you guys can put in the notes, you want this art to go for art of so and so. Please keep it to NPCs. We're not going to be doing it for, player characters. That's a different thing altogether. But yeah, if there's a particular NPC you would like the art of, we can set it aside for that.
All right. Then, let us begin. I'll go ahead and I will set the scene for you all.
Recap?
Oh, yes. Who wants to do the... Oh, Seda, do you want to do the recap?
I will do the recap.
Not even a question anymore.
Last time on Pokeroles, and it has been a little while, the Team Astral Dawn dealt with the underlying chaos of the falling barrels and crates that included the new arrival of the wonderful being of Vector, who was being immediately tended to by Dart and Jet. The group, trying to help out the best they could, quickly found themselves being blamed for the sudden chaos that unfolded the caravan campgrounds. After getting unrightfully blamed for everything, Blaze, the ponyta that we befriended a few sessions prior, commandeered one of the wagons for us, and the group made a hasty departure away from the caravan grounds and from the building mob. Then we had some wibbly wobbly timey-wimey nonsense happen. So we find ourselves once again back in the caravan, tired from our ordeals, recovering from our injuries, and general exhaustion of pushing ourselves for these last few days as we make our way, hopefully, onto Oran Grove to find what mysteries and adventures await us there that will hopefully be the key piece to us finally getting back and liberating Starlight.
I will point out that we did retcon the last recording that is on YouTube slightly. So the last part would have been
Episode 6.
I actually made it episode 5.5. Just because of, it wasn't enough to be a full episode. So the prior episode 6.
Yep, and I totally wanted the excuse just to use the wibbly wobbly timey-wimey nonsense.
Oh yeah, that's good. But the last part that we left off with then was Jet having given Vector an electrobite and discovering, Vector does not like electricity.
I
little bit-
wasn't there for that.
A little too strong for my taste.
I get to live this moment. I wasn't there for this.
But yeah, that was where that is.
All right,
We're
I'll
good
go
for
ahead
you,
and I'll set the
Raygon.
scene then. How does this say it? The clatter of the wheels against the road occasionally jostle all of your bodies within the small wagon. Potholes and other unknown debris, keeping you all just alert enough that sleep is unable to take a hold of you. It's unclear how long you've been traveling for. The view out of the back of the wagon is a simple swirl of grays and blacks, with the occasional bubble-like snow floating in through its cloth curtain, alighting itself upon one person or another and reminding them of how cold it is. Up ahead, you can see the fiery mane of Blaze, his steadfast work tireless. It seems that he had been doing this kind of job for a very long time, and as such he shows no sign of exhaustion, though to the close observer you could see the beads of sweat running down his fur. Everyone is tired, and a spark of hope has dimmed. What do you all do?
Argus is sitting in his corner, kind of separate from everyone, and he's looking at them all. And he looks over at Dart, and he tugs on his tail a bit, like slightly trying to get his attention, pull him away from the zapped Vector without distracting or disrupting anyone else.
I believe we left Dart kind of slightly sleeping on the floor, so he's going to kind of, further awaken from his slight, half sleeping days and be like,
Can we talk when we get to the place? I need to say something, and I don't really want the others to chance hearing it yet. Not yet.
Dart's gonna kind of rub his eye a little bit, being like, "Wait, are you sure it can't be said now? I mean, we don't know."
I don't know if I'm ready to say it to everyone yet, but maybe with you first. I'm just worried and scared, and he's clutching his meteorite tight like it's a plushie. I'm just a little worried.
Dart's gonna scoot up and like kind of make his way, a little bit closer to the corner that like Argus was sitting in, and just kind of like plop himself down, and just
Puppy plop.
puppy plop, and just say, Argus, it's been a long few days, and not everyone shows it, but we're all scared. And honestly, I don't know what we're going to find at Oran Grove, if it's the safety that we hope for. So I'm not going to force it out of you, but just be aware that we might not have the time to say the things we want to say when we get there.
Argus is going to look at Dart and look at everyone around him, making sure checking to see how much attention they're paying, and then kind of lean into Dart. I'm worried everyone just wants to leave me behind at Oran Grove. That they're going to just abandon me because I'm not doing enough. Because I can't fight like you, and I can't be smart like Jet or like Azurith or Jolene. I'm
Dart's going to put a paw on
useful.
Argus's head.
It
Now, why? And Dart's going to whisper and be just like, now, why would you think that?
Well, Amos wanted to leave me behind, and Jet locked me out of the house to make me get firewood, and Jolene's always yelling at me, and Azurith doesn't want to help me when I'm scared, because I'm always scared, and...
Dart's going to boop Argus on the nose.
He holds his nose and falls on his bum. Why the boop? That one's probably louder to where everyone can hear.
Dart, sitting down on his haunches, is just gonna continue whispering. Look, we don't all have to be fighters. Like, this is a new situation for all of us. I mean, Vector especially. I was admittedly scared myself. When
Never act scared.
it's because there's no time to be scared. When I woke up, I woke up in a dangerous situation. I woke up in water, not knowing how to swim with this body. I very easily could not have made it, and I'm still dealing with that throb of fear in my mind. And all I want is to know why, who am I? Why am I here? How did I end up there? Why are we all together? Why did we end up all together? This is like Argus. Think about
It's
this.
important stuff to think about that scares me. I don't know the answers.
I don't either, but being scared of what's around the next corner, what dangers we might face, that fear is not going to get us those answers. What's going to get us those answers is working together to overcome those obstacles, to get to the next day that may give us those answers. getting back to Starlight, freeing it from Alabaster's Gleam, getting ourselves established, that's going to get us, that's going to be the step towards those answers. Might not be the answers, but being afraid is not going to get us there.
If I get
And
left behind?
Marcus, you have a spark in you that I haven't seen in anyone else. Those pullgos, that was you. We would not have been able to get as far as we have without those. It's okay to not be the best fighter, but you bring something to all of us that no one else can bring. Everyone here has their own invaluable part that they bring to the group, and while I don't think we're all showing it yet, I think that is going to get us through, through these dangers. This world is, it feels so many unknowns, but the constant is us, and I don't want to see that get broken up.
I just worry and I'm scared and Ow.
Look,
Does anyone does anyone else wish to have a conversation?
Yes, I would like to at some point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you two be okay if somebody else takes over a conversation for a little while?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I actually just had one final thing to say to wrap up the conversation, and then I'm happy to turn it over.
Okay.
Dart's just going to kind of like give Argus one more pat on the head and just be like, look, we probably need to bring Vector up to speed when we get to some kind of calm clearing, just so he's able to hold his own. Join us, because I know you're not confident in your ability to fight and defend, but it doesn't mean you have to stay that way. I was in the same position, and I maybe over-applied myself to be able to learn what I can do, and
Try to see if I have any magic powers or how to use my meteorite better.
giving a pat on the hand is like, yeah, absolutely. But
Okay.
get some rest. We're gonna need all the strength we can get.
So,
Dart's,
sorry for waking you.
it's fine. It's fine. I'm glad you brought this up. And Dart's gonna walk back on over and help himself back down to where Jed and Dart were looking over Vector.
Argus is being thoughtful and wondering if he should try to gather the courage to talk to anyone else yet or not.
Okay. We'll go ahead and we'll cut that conversation right there for the moment.
Yep.
Azurith, I think you wanted to engage?
Yes, I did. Granted, it
Go
was
ahead.
only with himself and not with others I could think of. But
That's fine. You've got a little bit of time.
Azurith was watching over the front, over blades and everything else, keeping an eye on the surroundings. It's tiring now. Long days, big explosions hurt. He was trying to be a leader, like who? Wait, am I coming through or am I being too quiet? Why am I asking?
No, you're fine.
It's... He looks down at his own claws and asks himself, who am I, really? Am I being me or be someone else? Maybe I should be different. So when I tried to be leader, I hurt Doc's feelings a lot. Maybe I should go back to who I was. He tries to think more, but His eyes become droopy, tired. He calls out to Blaze and says, Blaze, as much as I want to watch over, I do need to go to sleep. I'm falling asleep where I'm standing, and I'm afraid of falling out. So, you're doing good. Keep it up. And he's gonna slowly step down from the front and curl up near the front of the carriage.
Anyone else like to have a piece before we get to Oran Grove?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Amos is just kind of staring out the back. He just kind of appears to be in like his own, just completely zoned out while he's processing what the hell just happened this past day, and his head hurts. He's pressing a paw against his head. And he just kind of slams it down. He's just like, it's just, what the fluff was that today? Like, what the fluff was any of that?
Would you like somebody to join in on this, Amos?
Yeah, sure. We can join in. Like that, and Amos says, it turns to like the rest of us, like, that was some fluffed up shit. Like, who the hell does that? All those mons and barrels falling out of the sky? I ain't even got my head together yet from flying out of a building.
Didn't you lot encounter scorpion rain before I woke
Please
up?
don't remind me.
Sorry.
Please don't, it burns.
I don't even want to remember that. Try to erase that from my memory.
But considering that, this probably seems less strange.
I mean, with those, they were just standard insects, as far as we could tell. That, like, Vector came in with all that. It does feel a bit strange.
I don't know. We gotta figure out who's pulling the strings on this kind of things. I don't know what we're gonna do about it, or if we should do anything about it, or just kind of find a way to get away from all this shit. But
As soon
we
as
do
you
need to figure
say,
something out.
as soon as you say we need to figure out who to pull, like who's pulling the strings, natural suspicion alights in your heart towards Vector.
Amos just kind of turns to look at Vector.
Then I turned my head. I kind of noticed the stare from Amos, and I kind of turned back, and I just kind of tilt my head in confusion. It's like, is there anything you need, Amos?
Amos just looks and says, "What do you know?"
What do I know? I don't know. I mean, I just fell from the sky. I don't even. I just fell out of the sky, and I don't even know anything. All I know is just that I woke up and I just landed on. I just fell where you guys were, and that's it.
So you're saying the last thing you remember was waking up and falling?
Yeah, very much.
There's nothing else.
Nothing else. And trust me, if I knew, oh,
Amos turns and looks at the rest of the group. Well, we got another one.
Admittedly, there's something that's been nagging on my mind as we've been traveling.
What's that?
Go on.
Like, Jet, Jolene, Azurith, and Argus, you four woke up under a tree together,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah.
Yes, Don?
I woke up a few days later in a river as a steel ground type, very much not suited for the water.
True. I think.
And
You
Vector,
don't seem like you're good at swimming.
good enough to live. And Vector, you woke up tied up in a barrel falling from the sky.
pretty much. But where are you going to start?
The barrel you were tied to had that MD Industries logo that we encountered in the house. And Amos, I do apologize. I don't know how to fit you into this, and it's kind of where my thought falls apart, but I feel like if there's someone pulling the strings, that they might be trying to get rid of us.
That does seem very likely. We were right on a battlefield.
We were a little ways away from one.
But still, like, near one nonetheless.
I mean, like, what if you four awakening, caused, the players at large to, be aware of, a bunch of awakened popping up, and they started searching around, and, what if they found me and tried to get rid of me? And we know Vector was not the only one in barrels back there.
That is very true.
There was a lot of bodies back there.
Vector looks down at the ground, looks down at the looks down, kind of in guilt.
Start's going to cut a pet Vector on the back. I don't know how many of us are out there, like Pokemon like us, and
How many that are still alive?
and I do wonder who out there is scared enough of us that they might potentially go to such lengths. I mean, it could.
Gleam?
I will point out that we were told that normally there are only one of us, one Mon like us at a time. And yet this time, right now, there's, 7 of us right now. Like, something definitely seems to be going on. And it might be that's scaring people. Like, the 4 of us, we didn't wake up in that much danger. Yeah, we wandered a little bit and found it. But even then, the battle was already done, and I don't think they could have predicted that the enemy, or whatever it was, could have come back. So it could be the fact that so many of us are popping up suddenly that is what's scaring them.
That could be it. And last thing I remember is just walking into that town.
And I was gonna comment that it's different. All the rest of us, we woke up, but you woke up already doing something. Like you were almost like you were like sleepwalking.
Yeah, I've been confused by that. I feel like there should be a lot I should remember before that, but there's nothing. Oh, maybe a little something, but I don't know.
There are two things that come to mind as it rolls over onto his back. The first is, what if there's more awakened? What if they're all afraid? Like, Dart said that?
I mean, it's just a observation. We all didn't wake up at the same time, and
Or what if we all did wake up at the same time, but something else? But that's different. The point is, there might be more of us that we could yet save. The second is, why and how? Who creates awakened? Or are they just a natural thing? And if they're natural, why is there so many at once? Why I'm keen to save Starlight. The Guildmaster might have answers. They seem knowledgeable.
either way, I think that's answers that we're going to get by working together. We got this far by working together, and
Then let's do better.
Yeah.
May we shine so bright that we are the stars. He falls over back to sleep.
Amos
that our
puts his paw
guild
against his head.
motto?
Yeah. Jolene is going to speak up a bit as Azurith kind of starts to trail off, and she's going to just start say, and darlings, that brings us to a point that I have been thinking on. I know that at times I'm a little, not necessarily distant, lost in thought or afraid to act, because I worry a little about this, that, and the other. How things will affect us if we do certain things in certain ways, because frankly, we don't necessarily all have the knowledge that we need. So it's a little scary when we have to deal with big things. And I think that when we get to the Grove, and even when we get back to Starlight, that we should start to work on our strengths and our weaknesses. For example, I want to learn more about medicine so that if we get hurt on our travels, I can go and fix us up if Doc isn't available. Say after we get back to Starlight and we need to go help someone else out and Doc can't go with us. And then, for example, August is pretty smart when it comes to the crafts. You built the pullgo, and that's a pretty good feat if you ask me. Yeah, I think that's very ingenuitive. And then another example could be just us finding maybe a mentor or for like such as battle skills or learning about the world at large. We need to work on things that we're not necessarily good at yet, and we need to strengthen what we are good at. And I think we should start with when we get to the Grove, looking for a mentor or looking for some form of knowledge to help us further that. I plan when we get there to look for maybe a doctor or some books on medicine.
Dart said he was gonna help me learn how to fight a little bit.
Well, that would be a
I
good
could help
idea,
with that
Dolan.
too. I know I've got someone back in Starlight that can help me learn my ghost stuff. Riolu at the bank.
Indeed.
If they're still alive.
I'm gonna
Now-
choose to believe they are.
Now, Dolan, we should.
A sour mood falls over the entire group as soon as if they are still alive, is spoken.
Say, yeah, as that's spoken and the mood's, becomes obviously a little more dim and a little more unpleasant. Jolene's just gonna, is retort the right word? I guess we'll go with retort. And now, darling, we can't just assume the worst or the best. We
How
gotta
long
hope.
has it been since we left Starlight?
We don't know. With how time seems to be weird, so to put it. It could have been. It could be a month. It could only have been a few days. We don't.
It could be
really,
a few hours.
Yeah, we don't know what's going to happen when we get there.
Or who knows? We could arrive before we left. Wouldn't that be weird?
I mean, there was the
Time.
journey that we took to get the gems back, where we were only gone, as far as we knew, for about a day, and they said a week had passed. But that's a good point. Jet's going to move up to the front of the pullgo and poke his head out the window in the front. Ember, how long do you think before... Or, Blaze, how long do you think before we get to Oran Grove?
Oh, we're here.
Jet's kind of looking around like, oh.
That
You
was
can
fast.
you can see little houses kind of like lit up on either side of the pathway that you all have been going down. Small dim glows lit in alighting within each of them as the wagon pulls through. Occasionally, you can see a shadow move in front of one of the windows and peek out, as apparently trying to ascertain what is going on. Who would be traveling at this hour?
What time of day is it?
It is early morning.
Oh. Fair enough.
Real quick, just to refresh my memory, where would Doc and Ethan currently be? Because I don't remember.
They're in the wagon with you.
Yeah.
The polgos had been pulled in, from what I can recall.
Yeah,
Okay.
we had the polgos in the wagon.
Okay, so Doc and Ethan and the Pullgos are probably closer to the entry of the Pullgo. Would that make sense? So easy to get in and out as needed, or do you think they'd be farther
They're
to the
kind of
back?
like centralized.
Okay. Yeah. Then is Blaze starting to like slow down, maybe come to a stop, or just keep going right now?
You can feel that the speed of the wagon is starting to slow down.
Okay. Jolene's gonna kind of go up to be able to speak to them a little better, and start saying, "It is Blaze, right? Just making sure I heard the name right."
Correct.
Okay. Blaze, darling, since we're here, why don't you find a place that you can pull over and maybe take a rest, and so we can see what's going on here. See if we can find some place safe to stay for a minute and get our bearings.
Sure. I think yeah, I see an inn sign up ahead. I'll see if I can't stop up there.
Thank you, darling. I figured you must be getting tired by now, so it'd be good for you to get a
Oh.
rest.
I'm not getting tired at all. And as he's speaking that, you can very clearly hear a wheeze in his lungs.
Yeah. Jolene's gonna just give him a little, like the little raised diblet in the milk and say,
If you say so, darling, but you should still take a rest as soon as you can, so let's get over there and see if we can't get ourselves situated.
Sure.
Then she's gonna kind of go back to like where Doc and Ethan are and just kind of check on them. Not sure if Doc would be currently awake or taking a rest while we're on the route, but just wants to make sure nothing's
Doc?
going on.
Doc is more or less kind of occupied with her own thoughts. She's still tending to Ethan, who at this point is looking quite a bit better. You can see that color has returned to his cheeks. He has even rolled over a couple of times as you all have been traveling.
Okay.
It seems now that at most her movements are almost like mechanical in nature, almost like as if she's just trying to keep herself occupied while her mind is elsewhere.
Okay. Then Jolene's just kind of gonna say it, so not like super loud, but so as to not maybe startle her or anything, but just say, yeah, we're coming near an inn, Doc. So if you want, when we get there, I can help you get Ethan in and situated.
Oh, yes. She kind of like snaps back, and as she looks down at you. Yes, that would be appreciated. Thank you.
Of course.
The wagon slows. The rumbling of the stone road beneath you soon settling into a click clock, click clock, click clock, click clock, click clock, and then it's all still. There does not seem to be much noise outside of the wagon. While none of you expected any fanfare, there doesn't even really seem to be much in the way of curious footsteps. And at this point, everyone go ahead and blindfold yourselves. I will be putting in the new map.
How do you use blindfold?
B button.
B.
Oh,
Just press B.
Thank you.
When you guys talked about Oran Grove, I thought it would be a lot more trees. That town.
Azurith rolls over once more.
Well, that was only
We'll
based
get
on the
there.
name of it. Can I go ahead and interact with Blaze a little bit, Rygon, or do you need to focus?
Sure. Let me go and put this in real quick, and then you can go and interact.
Okay.
Got to find it. There it is.
That music or?
What's that noise?
Oh! I have bubble wrap.
Zim, give me the bubble wrap.
Actual Jet moment.
No, mine!
How can Jet pop the bubble wrap when he keeps phasing through?
Dun
Basically.
dun.
It's just the bubble wrap that's already popped.
Okay, now I'm just imagining just Jet playing with already popped bubble wrap, but like every time his like claw phases through an already popped piece of bubble wrap, he just like makes the pop sound with his mouth, just like pop, Pop. Pop.
I can't
He makes it
decide
with
if
little
that is
electric
cute.
sparks.
I can't decide if that is cute or sad.
But why not?
Oh,
I mean, realistically, where is he gonna get more bubble wrap?
The popping noises,
True.
like the little sparks that he makes.
Yes.
okay. So apparently we
That's what I
have
was
to get.
thinking.
So next thing that we need to do is get bubble wrap for Jet. Got it.
Time to wrap Jet in bubble wrap.
You can probably find
Ooh.
some in that city you went through.
No, we're not
no.
going
Alrighty,
back
everyone
there.
ready?
The building you blew
Yes,
up was,
yes,
was the
yes.
bubble wrap building, so we'll never know
Oh,
the joys
no.
of bubble wrap.
All right, go ahead and take off your blindfolds. Welcome to Oran Grove. You all,
Aw, it's
if you
so
can take your
cute.
tokens, please place yourself somewhere in this section near the inn.
Good question. Where are oh.
Where is my token? Oh,
And feel free to enlarge your tokens as need be to fit in the squares.
Oh, you're right.
Oh, there's
give me
the
a moment.
squares.
Let me enlarge
Uh,
mine. Apologies.
I think I'm missing mine.
We both know where I'm at, but what do I do for token?
Your token is over here between Jet and Avi's character sheets.
Oh, okay, cool.
Rygon,
I
you
will
want
keep it on my
to
sheet for now.
promote me real fast so I can get the Vector
Sure.
a new token?
Sure. Wait, why does Vector need a new token?
His seems to be missing.
Yeah.
I could have sworn we just made you one. I just made you one.
Hey, what if it's for some reason I thought it might be underneath the current map,
Well-
but
It wasn't with the rest of us.
okay, then I'm wrong.
It's in a barrel somewhere.
Oh, there it is.
Oh no.
There it is.
Here's
There we
one.
go.
A very big
Let me
one.
shrink it down.
Alright, you done?
Let me shrink it down. I'll take care of it.
Yep. Thank you.
Let me adjust it a little bit more.
Okay. And we can thank Taldarius for the creation of this particular map. He had created it a good while ago, actually, before he became a player.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah, this was a while ago.
Still, looks nice.
Months ago.
There are
yes, a good while.
Was it
enough.
before the new year or after the new year? I think it was like just after.
I think it was just after as well. I know it was while you were
Actually-
assisting for that other game.
No, actually, it was in November. I
Wow.
checked.
Okay.
This map has existed since November.
So I think there's enough things to explore without being too much.
Yep. Also, the roads are just there to like lead off into other areas. This is just like the little central.
Yeah. When you guys get to exploring or doing more things in more tandem, then we'll go ahead and we'll make more map. But for now, this should suffice. All right. So welcome to Oran Grove. Zim, I think you said you wanted to interact with Blaze real quick.
Yes.
Okay,
So
go ahead.
Blaze, we're pretty new to the whole world as a whole. But you seem to have gotten around quite a bit. Any tips for what we should look for or do here?
I'll admit it's been a little while since I've been in Oran Grove. If I recall, their innkeeper here should be the one in charge. Where is he?
Maybe inside
Usually
the inn?
there's a lot more people out.
Well, I would suspect that as Argus said, the innkeeper would be in the inn. So maybe we should go in the inn?
Well, maybe we should get out of the wagon first and just see what's going on.
True. As
True.
Dart
Probably can't.
hops out of the wagon.
I would say that we leave all of our pool goes in this for now. You think that's good, Dart?
I agree.
Yeah, we can leave them.
Aurum, you broke out there.
Oh. Yeah. We can leave them. Is there a place where the wagon would be safe with all our stuff?
Well, if need be, I can always just race out if I need to, and I can carry everything inside to safety. Just leave me attached to it for a little while until we know what's going on.
But
You sure?
shouldn't you come with us since you know the place very well? Plus,
I'll
it would give you a
admit,
chance
I
to
was
rest.
I was pretty young when we came through here. I don't remember it very well. I just remember the funny innkeeper because he always tried to make me laugh.
Well,
Well, it would also give you a chance to rest. I don't really want to leave you hooked up to it too long.
Oh,
We'll
trust me. I'm sure whatever's going on, we'll figure it out soon, and then you guys can unhook me.
Vector, how's your paw feeling?
Kind of like Vector like kind of tries to stand up, give it a little, maybe like stretch, and still trying to get used to it. Doesn't. I don't think it's too bad anymore. I mean, the rest a good amount, I suppose. I'm gonna go ahead and try to try to see if I can get out from the Pogo and into the ground and slowly trying to be careful with it.
The bubble-shaped snowflakes are still falling from the sky. It seems to have let up quite a bit since before, only the occasional bubble floating down. But it still reminds you that even though you all have come quite a ways, you may not have come nearly far enough. So
Honestly?
everyone is just kind of cycling out of the wagon then?
yeah.
Yes.
Amos
Azurith
is
is.
gonna just hop out and say, "Well, I hope they're a bit friendlier than the last town."
As
Well,
you all
oh,
are
sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
No, speak.
As you all are cycling out of the wagon, getting your bearings, a little bit of wobbliness since you all have been sitting for quite a while, you do hear a series of footsteps approaching. Just crunch, 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 crunch. Down the road you had just come from, you can see three figures approaching, two of which appear to be relatively tall, and one of which appears to be relatively short. Wait! Wait, please! Stop right there!
Did we do something wrong?
Azurith still says heads, watching the three.
As it's quite obvious, none of you are moving. The figure almost seems to kind of like relax a little bit in his kind of like half jog, and his features are becoming a lot more clear now. He's wearing what appears to be relatively nice clothing, a nice kind of like button-up suit of sorts. Only at the ends of the sleeves and at the ends of the pants, you can see what appear to be an almost root-like structure extending out. But it's his face that takes the cake. A wide, gaping mouth, yellow, bulbous kind of tube, and two beady, dark eyes.
Is this?
Oh, thank you. Thank you all so much for waiting for me. Oh, you all just raced right past me before I could even say anything. Don't-
Sorry,
Don't you all know? Oran Grove is under quarantine.
No, we did not know that.
By whose authority?
Oh, by mine. I'm the leader of this town. People call me Bellow.
Be that?
I'm the innkeeper.
Oh,
Ah.
you're the one Blaze told us about.
How much have you shared around about this? We haven't heard it.
Well, why would you have heard it? None of you are from the town, obviously.
Oh, what is
That-
the reason for the quarantine?
Oh, we've had some members of the population fall sick.
Wait,
Ah.
are there people in red and white robes nearby?
Oh, no, nothing quite like that. No, they're in white and purple. and
I'm sorry.
and
Amos
The
puts a
two-
paw to his face.
the two figures that had been standing a little off to the side kind of just like glanced at each other, and you can very clearly see now that they are wearing white robes with purple trim. They kind of muttered to each other. Oh yeah. Oh, these young fine gentlemen and their group, they've been so helpful in helping our little town out.
Wait.
Really? Ooh, I would like to know more.
Who are they?
Well, they're the Alabaster Gleam, of course.
Azur smiles, almost breaks.
Jolene is.
It,
Yeah, Jolene's gonna say. This is gonna be an attempt at saying it in a non-direct way. In a non-inflammatory way, I guess is the best way to put it. But he's gonna just say, darling, do you know exactly when your townspeople started falling ill? Was there any specific events that happened? Anybody going through that didn't normally, etc., etc.?
Oh, I would say it probably started happening about 3 days ago. Yes. Oh no, about a week ago. Yes, a week ago. My head gets a little mixed up sometimes, you know.
Oh,
It started
understand.
happening about a week ago, and it hit our poor, our own local rescue team. You know, they're all lying very ill, just over that building over there, actually.
Oh.
A few of the other town people have gotten sick too, but they've chosen to quarantine very wisely inside their own homes.
Well, surely since we have accidentally broken the quarantine, it wouldn't make much sense for us to leave and potentially spread things around. Would there be any accommodation that we could use in the meantime?
Oh, he kind of like looks at his feet. Oh, well, Sid, I suppose you're right. Oh, I was really hoping to keep you all from getting infected, just in case. I
We can't be
suppose
too-
you
we-
could
we-
always stay in the. I
can't be
suppose
too
you could
unsafe
always
now.
stay in the extra rooms. If you all are fine, you could take that building over there. And he points over to this building.
An
I
entire
think that'd be
building?
nice.
Amos just says that will do just fine.
Jolene is gonna. It's gonna look like she's attempting to bow, and that's obviously the intent. That she says, "Thank you. You're very accommodating. It is good that you had some spare room. We don't want to get anybody sick if we leave, and
But-
this is good for us."
But we're not.
Oh yes, yes. If any of you start feeling very fatigued and you start getting these red lines on you, be sure to tell someone, or maybe not. Maybe you should just stay locked up. Yeah, that'd probably be better.
Red lines?
Oh yeah, it's a horrible thing. Wherever the red lines are on your body, excruciating pain follows, and then, before you know it, you fall asleep, and then you don't wake up.
Oh, question. Where is this rescue team? Local rescue team residing?
Oh, the past the blacksmith stop over there. There used to be a place where they would gather, but right now that whole building under quarantine. As you all kind of look over at the building, you can hear a muffled sound. Darius, would you like to make our muffled sound?
I'm not the best at sound effects, but it's gonna be a.
Oh, what is he up to again? Anyway, that's where they all are at, and just to make sure none of you get infected, I highly recommend you stay away.
At that, Jolene is gonna just kind of say, as if speaking to herself, what, Don, I am trying to learn more about medicine. I wish I could do something to help. Be helpful if I could study
Are you a
them.
doctor?
I've been learning. I've learned a thing or two from one of our friends who's a doctor. I'm still trying to learn more, but the more I practice, the better I'll get at it. I can't guarantee I could do anything, but I could at least give a look, see if I can provide any assistance.
Well, I don't know. I mean, these fellows right here, they're good doctors. And
Yeah.
one of the figures kind of steps forward and just simply states very flatly, "We don't need your help. I think we've got this well under control."
Oh
Well,
no, please. Oh no,
Argus is glaring at them now.
Yeah.
oh no, we would love to help. We've been traveling around. We've been seeing this happen all over, and I think we could lend a hand if possible.
You guys don't seem to have it much on handle.
Jolene's gonna, as Argus is starting to talk, is just gonna kind of put a little nubbly over her, trying to keep him from finishing the sentence. As she just says, "We have been around, and we have seen some various sicknesses. We might know a little bit about this one. Maybe we could provide assistance that only an outside opinion would get." Yeah, and before they can say anything else, she's just going to quickly get in. Most good doctors will take a second opinion just in case they missed something. Isn't that right?
The figure is almost kind of taken by that statement. Well, it's only if you're okay going into what is potentially your funeral. I doubt any of you have any of the protective charms for this kind of illness, and I can assure you it's quite painful if you were to be infected.
Yeah,
I mean,
sorry. At that, Jolene's gonna. She's gonna like kind of. It looks like she's kind of puffing up as if confident. Like you can see a little bit of bubbling as she says, "Well, darling, what kind of student of medicine would I be if I worried more about my life than that of the patient? It is of course better to make sure that every angle is checked, every view is taken, and that of course they are given the treatment that they need so that they may, in fact, get better."
The figure looks like he's about to talk again when he's suddenly cut off by Bellows. "Oh, yeah, I think she raised a very good point. I think they should go look. I know, you both have been doing a fantastic job. But, like she said, having a second opinion would probably benefit us all. Although, I have to say, you might have yourself a problem patient.
I think we can handle it.
Okay, okay. Right this way then. And
Azurith will follow.
just begins kind of guiding you, and the two figures kind of stay back a little bit. You can see that they're muttering to each other again before one of them kind of just like heads off while the other continues walking with you.
Jet's gonna kind of lean over towards Dart. Maybe we should have someone stay outside and keep an eye out. I was thinking maybe Amos. What do you think?
I'd be willing to have that, but I do want Amos to have some more role-playing opportunities.
I
My-
can
Since this
stay
might have
outside and
potential to
keep
be an
watch.
extended scene.
I would say.
I figured there would be a scene outside as well, so. But Gary, that's fine.
I was gonna say, Jet. How about we go have a chit chat with the other, as these guys check in on the patients. We can compare notes.
Which others are you referring to?
In the cart.
Well, no, out of character, Rygon was mentioning that one of the Alabaster Gleam members is going towards with the innkeeper. Who actually, can you repeat the name because I missed it the first time? I was just trying to write it down on my notes.
Bellows.
Bellows. Okay, thank you. Bellows and any number of us are going towards the kind of the forge area, along with one of the Alabaster member Gleam members, while the second one is walking off in a different direction. Dart is suggesting that for those who aren't keeping hold of the wagon or following the patient, and looks like Jolene is going to get to the forge area and Amos as well to go look at the patients. Dart's suggesting that some of us follow the other Alabaster Gleam member, compare notes, and ask questions.
I would agree. That would be probably a good idea. Keep an eye on them. The puppy brigade goes off, or the rock rough brigade goes off after the one, and everybody else goes to the forge.
Nobody protecting the cart, even though I'm sure Doc can.
I can stay with the cart and Doc. I don't trust them to not do something to Ethan and Doc.
We've got Ethan, Doc, and Blaze at the cart, at the pullgo.
Yes, an injured character, a character who has been probably overworked, and another character who's been probably overworked.
Maybe
I can stay with Doc and Ethan and Blaze because I don't trust them.
maybe leave Vector and Arcus to watch the cart.
Up to you two. If you want to come for the walk and stretch your legs, or if you want to watch over the cart, that's up to you too.
Hey, are you all going to be coming along with?
Not all of us. We're not all doctors, but it's better if we not crowd the patients.
Oh, I suppose that makes sense. Well, you probably should hurry. We're going to be opening up the door soon.
Judging from the tokens, I see Azurith, Jolene, and Amos are walking over.
Yes.
Yep.
Which path is the other AB member going down?
He is currently going down this path.
Okay.
I kind of like whisper over to Vector and to Jet and to and also to Argus. It's like, so who are these? I don't know if I like them.
Yeah, Dart just says, don't trust them, but don't let
them do anything. They might try to make you sick.
Okay. I guess what I can do, I guess what I kind of look over it with Argus, like I can help you. I can help. What I can do is I can help you look after look out with you as well. I don't
That would be
think.
great.
Yeah, I kind of looking at.
I'm not too good alone.
Don't worry. Then I kind of put my paw on on Argus, like, don't worry, I want to help out too. And I look over to like Jet and to Dart. It's like, and also I don't think having a third would help, especially for whatever you're gonna do. So I think it would be best if I at least help out a little bit here.
My thought is just we've seen what kind of carnage Doc can unleash, and I think out of everyone in our little traveling party, I am least concerned about Doc being in danger.
Yeah.
I look at
My reasoning is we've also seen how much carnage the Alabaster Gleam and their little pets can, cause, and
Don't seem to have the
that we can tell. And then we also have Doc has to worry about a very injured character, getting better, of course, and a character who has been currently going for I don't know the exact amount of time, but quite a while, pulling a cart that has probably got a heavy load, and we don't know their combat capabilities all that well, so she'd have to kind of worry about multiple things besides just defending herself.
Fair enough. So I guess Dart and Jet are going off after the Alabaster Gleam guy, and Vector and Argus are
and
staying at the cart.
Vector are
Yep. Well, Dart was going to raise up. Well, we do have Blaze and Doc, with the wagon. So, if either of you two want to tag along and see where things go, or stay here, up to you. We could always use the extra body just in case something happens.
it's like I look at Doc and I look at it's like, Doc? I mean, dangerous? I don't know, but
We can hold around.
I don't trust them
Alright.
not to try to do
Hold the
something.
line. This
Plus, we
hamlet
don't
shall not
know if
fall.
there's more of them out
Wosteen
here.
_Royal
There
raided my
might be more
stream
than
with
just the
5
two.
viewers.
Say again, Argus.
I don't trust them not to try to do something to either our stuff or our friends. And we don't know if there's more than just the two. There might be more of them here. Hello?
hello, yes. Well, either way, I I suppose that I suppose that if it's all right, we can always be there to help when needed here. I suppose, if you need if you need any help, just you know where to find us.
So
We
real
are
quick,
pretty close by.
Wostein, thank you so much for that raid. Welcome on in, everybody. You've come into the middle of our Starlight Expeditions Pokemon Mystery Dungeon tabletop campaign. I'll be in the chat and stuff, but well, thank you so much for sharing your community with me.
So, kind of like just kind of look over Amos and Azurith and Jolene do I spot anyone else other than them, other than Bellows?
Do you spot anybody else?
Yeah.
There's nobody else on the street at all.
Hmm.
You can see in the distance, though, a few little houses, and you can see a couple of heads kind of poking out of doorways and windows.
Oh, hmm. Well, I suppose that. Well, I'm not really too sure, but I suppose that we can. I guess we can try to follow along, but it's just so quiet.
It's strange.
Very strange.
Either way, we should get
Quarantine.
going if we're gonna get after that one.
Agreed. Let's make haste.
Dart, I will say I do want to take a look at the those that are sick. This is as we're kind of moving along after. He's saying it quietly. I'm just speaking up for the sake of stream. Anyways, I do want to take a look at them. I remember in the back in Starlight, I overheard them saying that they don't like ghost types getting near those that they make sick. I think I might be able to do something, but I also know that I've got quite a bit of skills with sneaking, and well, I want to see where this guy's going.
At this point, I don't want to have any of them walk outside in case something funny happens.
That as well.
But hey, I think it's a good idea we compare notes. Two
Yes.
interested parties helping, maybe can come to a greater good. But he whispers with a wink.
The greater good. All right.
The greater good.
With those two
Oh, well,
pairings now separated, we shall come over to Azurith, Jolene, and Amos. Well, I guess the rest of them have chosen not to come.
Yes, darling.
Like
We
it.
don't.
What was that, Amos?
Amos looks behind, noticing that they didn't follow, and says, "Well, yeah, looks like it."
Jolene is kind of a parrot of what they would have said, and is just going to say, yeah, "Of course, darling. Too many people in one place with those who are sick could risk more infection, as well as make the patients less comfortable. So we only need a couple of us here to make sure that I don't miss anything, and that I have someone to keep notes. Well, looks at the
Yes.
lack of hands, just says, well, not necessarily notes, but I think you know what I mean. Just keep record."
You can still
Yes.
bounce us off for
I'm
for
quite
notes. Sorry.
saying, yes, I'm quite glad that your friends decided not to follow along. After all, I'd hate for them to follow to their grave. He kind of gives a slight smile that you all can tell.
Yeah.
Before he just turns away, pretending not to look at any of you.
I just want to point out he would, as he's turning back around, he would just see a very confident smile back as Jolene kind of retorts, "Well, darling, we'll make sure that no one, including these patients, gets sick or meets their untimely demise. I'm quite confident in our ability to find a potential way to get rid of it."
I suppose we shall see. Oh, I don't know what you two are really talking about, but I'm going to open up the door now.
"Thank you, darling."
Is there still thumping on the door?
The thumping went
Well,
away a little bit ago.
Yeah. So he opens up the front door and kind of just like does a short bow and allows you all to kind of filter on in.
Jolene's gonna go in.
Pass will nod and follow in, filter in. Take a spot over here. And look around the
And
first room.
Amos will follow.
The white robes with purple trim figure comes in and he just sort of sits over in a corner, almost looking bored. Bellows, for his part, kind of just scuttles on in, closing the door behind him, almost as if he's afraid of letting any of the air inside out. Before he looks at the left door. Okay, now then, Oh, shoot. I forgot my key.
Why would you need a key for a local rescue team?
Because of the problem patient in there, of course. I'm afraid he's very, very ill. And he, for his part, would probably go out and spread it to everybody if we let him, so he's not quite all up there in the head, you know?
I see.
And with that, I will allow Taldarius to come in. Taldarius, you heard all of that.
Bellow, is that you out there?
Well, yes, it is.
You better let me out of here right now, or I'm gonna tip over your dumb complimentary oranberry table.
You weren't there. That's not the
Azurith-
complimentary oranberry table.
Azurith gives off a small chuckle.
I'm guessing that's your problem, patient.
Yes. He came in here about a week ago or so, and he himself has not been having a very good time. Oh, no, wait, it was about a month ago. I'm not very good with numbers, you know. Anyway, he came in here not too long ago, and he has been just a trouble. And then with all this quarantine business, he's just no good. No.
Bellow, I'm gonna shorten one leg on all of your chairs and tables for saying that. I hope you know that, right?
You better.
You be quiet. You should be resting. I hope you finally ate your food this time.
It's
Amos
sitting
is-
nice and cold in the corner.
Oh. Bellows kind of looks a little defeated. It's just like, oh, he had not been eating or drinking a thing since he's been in quarantine.
Wrong, I had the oranberries in my pouch.
That doesn't count as food, and you know it.
Then why do you offer it when people go into your inn?
Because it's complimentary. I'm trying to create an atmosphere of warmth and love.
Amos is just with a paw against his head, shaking his head.
Jolene has a nubbly over her mouth, obviously stifling a laugh, but you can kind of tell very well by the little bubbles that are kind of popping up that she is having quite a chuckle at this. But
Anyway, I did forget the key. If you all are willing to wait for a few minutes, I'll probably be back there then.
Okay, darling. Don't mind a little wait.
All right. Well,
Wait,
just
are you
here.
giving a tour?
Maybe.
Who are you talking to out there, Bellow?
I'm talking to some very nice young people that just came into town. They said that they can help you.
The only help I need is to be let out of this room.
Kind of putting two and two together as to what's probably happening here. Jolene is going to say, trying to put the right inflection in her voice that Bellow, who doesn't seem necessarily all there, will get it, but our new acquaintance might. Darling, I'm trying to learn more about medicine, so I wanted to check. Yeah, I'll just give you, I guess, a physical, you could say. Make sure everything's right as rain, and make sure that you were on the path to recovery. Yeah. I'm sure you understand.
Look, I'm fine, but like I need help in here. Actual help for these four. I am perfectly fine, and Bellow knows this.
He seems rambunctious.
I'm afraid that the patient in there is quite sick. Unfortunately, his mind is addled. He keeps claiming that he's not sick, but I'm afraid out of the 5 individuals, he's perhaps the sickest.
To that, Jolene is going to say, trying again to make sure that our little in charge of the town person may not get it, but she's gonna say, as if agreeing, "Of course, darling, sometimes it's the sickest ones who deny their illness. Of course, we gotta make sure that we get them checked out and get them treated. Maybe we can do something if we work together."
The figure kind of gives a little bit of a half nod. "Then I suppose you'll have no issue tending to them for as long as you need.
Of course, darling.
Wouldn't want to spread any sickness amongst the population, after all."
Of course. I will spend all my time that I need until I figure out how to help. And Jolene gives, as she says that, a very pointed look with her eyes to her companions, and then at the figure, and then she just kind of smiles, just a sweet little smile. Well, and as she then also adds, "Because I want to make sure these patients get better, so that they may go back about their daily life. Can't have them being sick for too long. That can lead to complications."
Azurith, what you see around the room is actually a relatively plain room. As you were coming in through the door, you could see kind of like a little sign on the front that just simply said Oran Grove Rescue Team on it. And the actual inside of the room is just kind of bare. There's a little bit of seating off in one corner, assumedly for anybody who needs to come in and wait to be attended to. Otherwise, there's just nothing. Just like one rather sad-looking painting on a wall, and a few little training dummies that seem to be almost absent-mindedly placed. As you look close at the left door, however, you can see what appear to be scratch marks underneath it.
Az to just be staring at those, questioning himself whether he should make a move towards the door or not.
Amos is gonna kind of just walk over, but not really looking like he's looking at the door, but he's gonna try to get a better look at the scratch marks under the door while not drawing attention to himself.
The scratch marks appear to have been made by a rather small-pawed creature.
Alright.
They're recent, too.
Amos is gonna take a seat and smile at the robed figure and wait for Bellows to get back.
I'm glad to see that you all have a little bit of sense in you, being willing to wait for our good companion here, Mr. Bellows. I'm sure if you're willing to wait just a little bit longer, some of my associates might be able to come by. It's almost time for mealtime, where we be sure to give the proper nutrients and liquids to our poor patients in there.
You know that I'm not going to eat a single thing you give me.
The robed figure completely ignores the statement. As you can quite see, keeping up your strength is important, especially when your body is so ill.
Is the boring one out there? It's the boring one this time, isn't it?
What's the other one like?
Oh no, there's plenty that come by, but this guy completely ignores everything I say, and it's no fun trying to come up with these inventive threats for people if they completely ignore you.
Well,
I have nothing better to do.
Well, that's no fun. Amos
Yeah,
is
he's
with
boring.
so what kind of food and drinks do you give to these patients? If we learn to help, we can learn more about this.
Oh, well, it's quite simple. It is a concoction of soup and water. That's it. Just something to help fortify the body.
What kind of soup?
We
Yeah, ask
help
him
the
about their
cooks here
special
in town.
spice.
I'm afraid I know nothing about this special spice.
Oh,
It's
I'm
all just
sure
simply
you don't.
local herbs.
At the mention of herbs, remembering that I'm pretty sure Doc's notebook had plenty of herbs and just kind of flipped through it mostly. She's going to just kind of say, "Oh, do you mind me asking what some of the herbs might be? I know a little bit about them. I might be able to tell you what might go better with them to better be- better accommodate what they need. Maybe help them get a little more strength."
Oh, sure, of course. Why, I can give you the entire recipe, actually. If you're willing to sit down here, I will explain every detail to you.
Yeah. Jolene's currently, resting herself, kind of off to the side now. Not quite sitting, of course, but because she doesn't want to go and touch the floor, because goo. But and she'll kind of nod and wait. And has Bellows started to leave yet?
Oh, yeah, Bellows actually headed out a little bit ago.
Okay, yeah. And so she's just gonna kind of look at him, and she'll kind of say, because I don't think she has anything she can write things down on, but she'll just say, "Go ahead. We got time until our good friend comes back with the key."
Well, I'm glad you are willing to listen to reason. My associate actually, he went off to go actually get the food for today's round, and I made sure to let him know to pick something up for all of you as well. That way you all can come in, you can get yourself properly fortified, and then you can get yourself settled for the long quarantine. We uh, we assume that we are going to have this taken care of within about 3 weeks, give or take. You can
Yeah,
see him kind of glance over to the door before he looks back at you.
yeah. Jolene's
Look,
just
if you
kind of.
come in here to try and give me whatever it is that you've been putting in there, I'm gonna throw it all over your nice white robes.
Yeah, with Bellows not currently here, or Jolene's going to say this time kind of pointedly at the patient, "Darling, your threats are inventive, but we're here to help you." Ooh,
Oh, don't worry, I'm not threatening you. I'm threatening the boring guy.
I know, darling, but obviously we have to kind of work together. We can't be hostile. Now, why don't you tell us a little bit about how about yourself? What's your name, darling?
Well, I'm called Shade.
Okay. Well,
I'm a dark type.
yeah, Jill. At that,
I don't
Jill.
really know what else you want here.
Yeah,
I'm not too used to talking to people.
yeah. At the men, the men there, the kind of between that and mentioning the dark type, Jolene kind of makes a little sound, and then she'll say, "It's okay, darling. I understand not necessarily getting to or wanting to talk to people all the time. My name is Jolene, and I believe was I told what type I was? I think I was. I can't remember now. It's been a while.
You were told fairy, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Okay. I believe I was told I'm a fairy type. If I'm learning to try and be a doctor of sorts. Make sure I know a little bit about what all the different and illnesses and such, so I can treat my traveling companions should anything befall them. She's kind of side-eyeing the figure as she talks, like not in a way that denotes any specific thing, just as if she's, kind of looking back and forth between the door and them. Obviously, I'm just making sure they know she's paying attention.
Okay. Amos, Azurith, what are you two up to?
Nothing much. Azur's just staring at the door where Shade is speaking. Otherwise, I can't think of anything else to say right now.
Just so you know, like, the sound that is coming through the door doesn't sound like it's coming from, like, right behind the door. It sounds like it's coming distantly from inside the room.
Okay.
Yeah, Amos is examining the robed figure.
Okay. Would you actually like a description of said robed figure?
Yes.
Okay. Let me go ahead and I will use a Pokemon generator real quick.
So I just need
Watch
to
it be a
separate.
while with that.
I just need to separate for 2 minutes and use the restroom.
Yep, that's perfectly fine. No, we're not doing a legendary type.
Oh, what you get?
I need something.
Nurse or Bidoof. One of the two.
We do.
Hey, look, we're not trying to bring God into this.
Like I've been coming up with comments, but they weren't
Alright.
comments Azurith would say. I'm like, no, I have to hold that back.
Yeah, we'll go with that. All right, so the road figure that you can see, he is relatively like average sized, much still taller than the innkeeper. You can see two what almost seem to be almost like purplish tails kind of coming out from underneath the robes, and at the end of them you can see what appears to be like hands. The figure has a bit of a wide grin that kind of belies the calm and cool voice that he carries.
I hate him already.
If it's what I think it is, then I'm probably pretty sure I don't like it just based on the Pokemon. But,
I don't know which has two purple tails, unfortunately, off the top of my head.
Ambipom.
Yeah.
Oh, mother of stars.
Wait, what?
I'm gonna punch this thing. If I could, I would punch this thing. Again, those are part of the thoughts I've been having, but I can't share them as Azur's because that's not Azur's personality.
All right. We are at 11:09. Does anyone need to take a quick break before we continue on for the evening?
Yeah, I'd like a quick break.
Yeah, I'd like
That
a
would be
quick break
great.
just so I can get something to drink.
Then I'll allow a quick break. You all can talk amongst yourself of kind of like what's going on, your thoughts, etc. And we will reconvene in about 10 to 15 minutes.
Alright.
Okay.
I've definitely been
On-
enjoying chat's reactions to my threats. Oh, whoops.
Burn the food!
Burn the food.
Vector, depending on
just
what
wanna-
we see happen outside, I might be dragging you into combat because Fergus hates these guys. He's scared of the zombie ones, but he hates these guys because they have hurt his friends.
I will be right back.
So, you might get dragged into fun.
I've been thinking of ways to deal with the zombie things, but trying to do it properly as Azurith is a different story. But yeah, Shade's a fun character. I love it. From the first comment Shade has made is like, oh boy, I'm gonna love this character.
I love Shade. I love Shade so much.
You guys don't
say
understand.
everything we have been wanting to say.
You don't understand. I have literally pages of these that I've pre-written for various scenarios.
I love
Why?
falling off one foot on everything.
I thought you said
I love it.
cut.
Yeah, well, I said I'm gonna shorten one of the legs on all of your chairs and tables. So like that way, like when you sit down, it's like the unbalanced wobbly.
I'm back.
I love it.
I
We're
wonder
taking a quick break for 10 to 15 minutes, so everyone's just kind of talking amongst themselves right now, Seda.
Cool, cool.
Oh, we know
trigger
it's
that.
the food. We know it's something in their food.
and drink.
Poor
I
Pokemon.
vote we do. I vote we do the what they did inches and force them to drink their own soup.
You would have to bind them up first.
I vote we join them.
Another
what?
thing.
Dart and Jet are
you
gonna
may have kind of
pretend.
burnt that bridge.
What?
We
I'm lost.
infiltrate from the inside.
How do we infiltrate from inside unless we're doing it already?
Hey, you know, we've heard about the wonderful things you guys are doing, helping these Pokemon in need. We'd love to be able to help out if we can. If not, maybe even join your cause because it's very noble.
Oh. Okay.
Pallet shot to the face, in the face.
That at least is what Jet and Dart are gonna be doing.
Oh yeah.
You
Like-
you guys are a lot more tactful than Argus, because Argus just wants to make snap comments and possibly beat them up.
Well, that's what I'm having.
Yep.
Quick question: what's being tactful?
Okay, my current Astral Dawn allies are a lot more tactful.
What's being tactful? I don't understand.
Neither do I. I'm lost.
The opposite of you, more like Jolene.
What?
So sometimes you don't say exactly what you mean.
Mhm.
Well, that sounds dumb.
Exactly.
Why? Like, trying to, lie and such about what you're saying is kind of hard.
But see, it's all about getting the individual you want to talk to trust you and relay information they would probably keep from you if they knew your true intentions.
But I want to relay to Shade that we do. It's fine.
But you guys are doing your own thing. We're Dart and Jet are plotting a means to potentially get a little bit more information out of them before we start throwing rocks at people's
Murdering.
heads. I wasn't gonna say murder.
Amos is
I
ready
wanna
to throw
murder.
rocks.
Argus
Oh.
is ready to create rocks that throw themselves.
All Vector knows at this point is just you know that it's like that gut feeling, that it's that gut feeling of, oh, okay, something's very much up, and pretty much the group knows, and Vector has no idea who they are, but all Vector knows is just, okay, this is pretty sus, and
It turned Charlie Argus into Angry Dino.
and all that we will tell them is that Amos is a wonderful chef and should be brought back to the camp.
Amos
God,
is
that
a
poor
wonderful
kid.
chef. Show him how you cook the building.
Get
Yeah.
the gases.
Amos has put 2 and 2 together, and he's ready to kill this guy that's in the room with them.
Leave none
It-
alive.
Admittedly, I'm just like, okay, so when do we go from the hitman level of just like walking around scouting your target to just letting everything fly? When's the good time? Do we
As soon as Bellows goes to bed.
do we take the target out in the open, or do we just like wait for them to go to the bathroom and then we snap their neck?
We use the exploding golf ball.
But I would like to get some information out of them first.
Okay,
That's what I
information
want
for.
to.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Before I start blowing up buildings.
No,
I'm on-
Jolene is currently trying to worm as much information as she can out, which is probably a little too obvious, but at the same time, sometimes if you're being obvious, they won't really expect that you're,
Obvious.
Yeah, no, they won't expect that you're planning quite what you're planning, so.
That's trying to be friendly. Well, me internally as a real player, I'm ready to tie them up and leave no witnesses.
I mean, from the sounds of it,
I-
Shade's ready to do that too.
I don't want to see what happened to Starlight happen to this town.
Or maybe what
Argus
has
is
happened.
ready to attempt being brave until he gets hit, and then he's going to be cowardly again.
We're gonna find the cure here, then we're gonna bring it over Starlight, and everything be wonderful. We'll bop to the music.
I'm pretty sure that that's something to do with ghost and dark types is the cure. So Jet and Shade are the cure.
What are you gonna do? Face through them?
They're going to phase the sickness out. They'll reveal the
mean-
monstrosity within, and we'll have to destroy it. Burn it, and then play a little dancing tune.
I don't know how. I just know that it was very clear in Starlight. Then again, this could be a completely different thing altogether.
I vote that we have Shade and Amos go on a rampage to the tune of the 1812 overture.
Wait, I'm gonna go look that up. Just one moment. Give me a moment.
Yeah, real quick, is Rygon here? Or did he step away?
I think he's doing the
think he
break
stepped away.
thing, so that way he
Okay.
can,
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure, because I sent him a message with a question I had, because I didn't know he was here or not. And also, I don't necessarily want to say it out loud, because then that'll tip off the other players as to what I'm planning. And I want it to be a surprise. Because it'll be... Honestly, it probably is not too hard to figure out what the plan is, but I just want to make sure that it's both in character and out of character, a bit of surprise. I think I made my tea a little too strong. I made some instant tea when I went.
Okay,
And,
I am back.
Nice.
Welcome back.
Also, I sent you a quick question, Rygon. If you can take a look real quick and answer it in the message there, because I want to be kind of a surprise what I'm planning. And though it's kind of tipping you off, I just want to make sure that something's possible.
Honestly, I can't remember that specific detail that you're talking about.
Yeah.
If I had to recall though, I think it was just a dice roll.
Okay. Okay. Sure. And for the second part, because I know I'll send you what I had for this, and because I can't remember if I made sure to fix the information when we had talked about it last. But that is what I had, and I think we got everything there fixed. It's just the one detail about that, like the specific thing in the first part of the question, and then
Yeah,
the
I think it
second
was
part.
just the die roll.
Okay. So, and as for the second part, is that possible?
Mm. Yeah, I think so.
Okay, good.
I just want to point out I can't wait for this best laid plans of mice and men to go completely wrong for everyone.
Oh, it is. That's why I'm
Mhm.
thinking of the contingency of the contingency. Like, sure, we might try to get some information, but honestly, I might just go pellet shot for the eye.
We all have our own plans, and I think some of them are going to conflict with each other here.
Yeah,
Especially
So
since you
then,
guys
as
left Argus
a-
alone.
As a quick question, then, how is everyone enjoying this first part for the whole thing?
Oh, I'm
Yes,
loving it.
yes, yes,
I-
yes,
You
yes,
you have
yes.
found the one way to make Ark go from scaredy cat into angry dino.
There's two observations of mine. One, even though I wasn't directly involved in like that portion of the initial Alabaster Gleam, but like this kind of feels like the redemption arc, the do-over of you didn't do this in Starlight, but you could do it now. And
That's basically what it comes down to.
and also I looked at the clock and I'm like, wait, we've done all this. Like I have like a page full of notes, and it's like it's only been like an hour and 15 minutes because we had to start a little bit late.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you
pace
all have
is
been very
indeed moving.
productive so far. Is the challenge I've placed in front of all of you clear?
I find it clear.
Out of character, I'm assuming the challenge is if we're going to have any hope of freeing Starlight from the Alabaster Gleam, we gotta first free the Oran Grove from the Alabaster Gleam.
Yeah, I was gonna
I
say
neither confirmed nor denied.
yeah, I was kind of having for me it's like I think I get it, but I'm not 100% sure. But I have.
Argus wants to chase these guys out.
Oh yeah, no, Jolene is not happy they're here, but she's got plans, which
That's
so
my-
far things are working into.
That's my current interpretation of what's been presented before is that Alabaster Gleam are here. We need to get rid of them if we're going to have any hope of achieving our goals.
Find the cure while we're at it.
Heck yeah. So everyone's feeling pretty good about the pace then?
Yeah.
I'm loving it. Very
My-
curious
my-
what to go next.
All right.
My armpits
'Cause
are
I can
sweaty.
kick it up or I can slow it. Yeah, I can kick it up or I can slow it down if need be.
I think the pace is fine.
All right. Then if everyone's ready, we can continue.
I'm ready to
Alright.
continue.
I'm ready.
Yep.
All right, go ahead. Play the scene out.
Murder, 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 murder!
I
Murder,
wanted
murder,
to
murder,
say,
murder,
so here Jolene's just gonna kind of ask again for like just the the herbs that they use, with the intent that she's wanting to learn a little more about what they might use and find some maybe positive interactions for them and what she knows. And that could kind of just be like a fade to the next part kind of thing, because honestly, I don't know if I could write down an entire list of things they might say and blah, all that. But
Yeah, in the blah blah land.
yeah, in the blah blah.
The blah blah blah.
Because it's probably a long list of things that they're going to give me, of which they're only using like 2 of if that. So, but we're more just waiting for others to get here and for her to possibly be able to get some more information and progress things.
Okay.
So we can go to one of the other groups unless one of the other 2 here want to do anything specific.
Yep. Amos just wants to ask him something.
All right, go ahead.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Sorry, I was fucking.
Amos is gonna ask her a figure. So, how many buddies you got with you around here, undertaking this quarantine operation?
Oh well, it's lucky that we arrived when we did. He, despite the fact that you can clearly see he doesn't trust you, is still speaking at a calm, collected, cool level. He knows he's outnumbered, but he doesn't seem bothered by it. Yes, it's lucky that we came when we did. I believe this town was just barely being afflicted by the scarlet fever, as it was. I and my compadres, if you will, of about 20 to 30, came here. We've been helping out all the townsfolk quite diligently, providing them with food, medicine, and other things. In fact, I'd even go so far as to say they trust us quite a lot. They allow us into our homes, around their children, and we've been doing everything that we can to help them. This is a very
Yeah, you
big
know you're
room.
trusted when you're around the well at the middle of night.
Again, he just kind of ignores the voice.
Ah, I see. You guys have been quite busy then.
Oh, very busy. Bellows has been a very gracious host to us. And I'm sure the townspeople would hate if something were to happen.
What kind of things could happen, you think?
Oh, well, you know the sort. Bandits coming in from out of town, starting to ransack the place, disturb operations. People will get very angry, I think. Very, very angry.
Trying to
Yes, because there's such a difference between bandits and racketeers. I think that's what Valeria called you, racketeers. I'd ask her, but she's unconscious.
Yes, fallen victim to the illness just the same as you, poor child.
You know I'm not sick.
I'm sure this just because the illness has taken a different course in you does not mean you are any less ill. In fact, and he turns back to the other three, in fact, I would highly caution opening that door. If you do, his particularly virulent strain might get out. And, well, I'd hate to see anything happen to any of you.
What about you? What makes you not sick from this?
Oh, I've been studying medicine for a long time. I've got my charms and my medicines. My body is fortified against illnesses of all sorts. I'm not concerned for me. But for a mere student of medicine, I can't say the same for you.
Jolene is going to kind of give her usual little sweet smile and say, "Well, of course, darling, I'm not as well versed or well protected as you, but I have no doubt that I can learn, and I might even learn a thing or two with this. I think I'll be perfectly fine, in as long as no outside sources disdain to intervene."
Yes, no outside sources. Oh, it appears that Bellows is taking quite a while. Poor guy. He always gets lost even around his own home. Perhaps one of you can go out and help him?
Sure.
Amos is gonna look over to Jolie and kind of put a paw next to his mouth, kind of covering the view, and just gonna look at Jolie, make sure Jolie's looking at him, and kind of blow a small little flame while nodding up and down a little bit, looking for your response.
Yeah, as that's happening, and right after he said it, Jolene's just gonna say, "Of course, darlings, one of you or both of you go ahead and see if you can help our dear friend. And I don't want him to be lost and possibly end up going in circles or accidentally hurting himself because he went the wrong way. We know after our travels that if you go the wrong direction, you might just run into some brambles or such. And I don't know how well protected he is against that. And I can learn some more from our friend here while y'all go and find him.
Yes. Why don't both of you go? I think that sounds like an excellent idea.
Look, just leave Bellow to go find his own way. I watched him get lost in a chest-high field.
What was in the field?
Well, no, but he kind of tends to it. But he's gonna get lost no matter what. I saw him get lost when he could see the way out.
Azurith looks to Amos and Jolene.
Jolene's just going to kind of give a nod and say, well, at least one of you might go check. Okay. Can't hurt to make sure somebody guides them back here. Don't want them being lost and us not be able to tend to our patients.
Sure. I think I'll go.
Amos will nod.
And Azurith will go walk out. It shouldn't be too hard to find him. And then he'll walk out the door, make sure to close it behind him.
Okay.
And then from there, he'll head to the center of town. Or supposedly the center of town. The intersection.
Just trying to find our friend, the mayor or whatever he's considered.
Yeah, he's just Mayan.
When he reaches Vector and Argus are towards the center of the intersection along with the cart, right?
Correct.
When he approaches to, they'll hear the jingling of his scales coming down the road before they notice him.
A new subscriber. Come, steel yourself. We are building an army.
And Holly brings a new
_Tyrants_Templar just resubscribed for 23 months. Woo.
He'll approach the two and he'll ask, "Hey, did you guys see Bellows come through?"
We kind of turned.
You both actually did. He was walking off in the opposite direction.
Oh, yeah, he went over that way. Did you learn anything?
Oh, loads. That there was a really, really sick patient in there. He's really rambunctious. I was like, someone say he's not sick, but I'm pretty sure he's sick. He gives a knowing smile that, if one were to, look at him as like, oh yeah, I don't think this guy's sick.
So, like how we were.
He thinks on it for a moment and ignores the question entirely. So, yeah, he doesn't know how to respond to that.
Well, like when they told us we were sick.
He whispers, "I don't want to share that with the others. They never want to know if they're listening in." So yeah, you said Bellows went that way, the complete opposite way.
He went in like that direction.
Huh. Well, I don't know the layout of this town. Shouldn't be that bad to go find it. And then he'll go off and do a small jog over that way, off the map.
Okay.
I kind of turned toward.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. No, I was going to say, like, I turned towards the Argus and kind of like, it's like, I don't know how long they were in there, but I've never seen Amos or Jolene come out yet. I'm gonna probably keep an eye on it for a little while, because if they don't come out anytime soon, I'm gonna get
Then
some really
yeah, we
bad
might
feelings.
want to. If they don't come out soon, we might want to go in, just to make sure.
Yeah, from what I'm getting from here, it's just I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
I don't either. But we don't know if they have friends coming, and if they have more people going in, then we want to go in after and make sure they're not outnumbered.
I don't want to leave them behind.
Exactly.
Okay. Seda and Zim, I will be getting to your guys' scene here soon. Sorry for the wait.
No, don't worry. So
But go ahead.
I was even going to say, like, I think Avi and Aurum need some more P time, so happy with the wait.
We made a plan. If anyone else goes in, we follow after, and then we take them out from behind. We're assassinating them.
What was that, Icon?
I was saying, I think we're about to have a fairly fun scene here in a second, so we'll see how this plays out. All right, Amos and Jolene, coming back over to you as well as Shade.
Okay.
So as soon as Azurith's footsteps kind of fade off into the distance, you can kind of see that pleasant smile on the figure's face kind of fade until it's almost like he's staring both of you down with just a grim, neutral grimace. So, what is Starlight doing here?
Yeah.
We're finding out what you guys are really doing and why you have done the same thing to Starlight. We're not going to let you do the same thing here.
Oh, the same thing as Starlight. You must be talking about our brother. He slowly stands up, and both of you realize he's kind of standing a little bit taller than you remember.
As
you're
this
here
conversation
to-
goes on, you hear something metal clanking, like just like a clatter on the ground.
A clatter, you said?
Yeah, like a clatter, like something was just dropped.
Okay. I see. So you're here to stop whatever is going on here. Come to cure the ills of the villagers.
Yeah, Jolene looks at Amos looks at the door and kind of just says, "Of course, darling. After all, we're an adventure group. We can go and try and help where we can. It's only natural."
It's only natural. It's only natural. He then strikes you, Jolene.
That's actually what I was waiting for. You know what I was waiting for.
Oh yeah. He actually attempts to strike you with one of his tails.
Okay. So let's see. And I don't know if this is a thing where I could reactively do what I was asking you about, or if I have to dodge and then do that. So I'll have you. Decide.
This is one. This is probably one that you can do a very quick dodge. I will say though that the avoidance for this particular one is going to be a little higher than usual.
So just a higher number to go for.
Yes.
Okay. So that would be
Dexterity, fight, evasion.
yeah. Ooh.
You get hit.
Yeah.
Reminder, we all have rerolls, don't we?
I think it's a group reroll.
It's a group reroll.
Yeah, there's one.
Yes.
So yeah. So unless everyone is okay with me using that, then I am probably going to have to take a hit, which ain't great, but
Well, what I can say is that this hit won't deal damage.
okay. Yeah. So it's more what effects might be with it that I'm worried about, but
I was gonna say,
yeah.
like,
This is probably even worse than damage.
yeah.
Azurith, why do you sound so far away?
Because I am.
Okay, well, that explains that, I suppose. Yeah.
So then, to continue on with the scene, as you smile sweetly up at him, one of his hand tails kind of just like snakes around the side and immediately just gives you a slap across the face. And it's hard. You can feel yourself going just careening into the wall near the door where you kind of just go against it and slide down.
Do we hear that? Like, are we able to hear it from outside?
You are not able to hear it from outside.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was gonna say, I don't know if there'd be that audible of a sound with a milk blob smacking a wall, but
There might be like a oof or something from Jolene, but that's about it.
Weren't you two commenting about like checking in on them?
That was gonna be like a little bit, wasn't it? So
Yeah.
not enough time has passed.
yeah, say we
Yeah.
don't know how much time would be between that and this, but yeah, no, I don't even think Jolene lets out an oof. She'll just attempt to kind of form back up, and if she can do that, then I can proceed.
Yeah, your body is just aching from the hit. It's stinging. You, even though you had anticipated something to go down, it still took you by surprise.
So, yep.
So-
and-
I guess an important question is, can I hear that?
You did hear this. You heard the
Okay.
hit. You heard the smack.
All right.
so yeah.
As he stares down, I'm sure Amos, you're probably like rigid. You're growling. You're probably doing something at this point, right?
Amos is about to use a flamethrower.
Yeah, but
He-
yeah, but
He simply turns to you and he just says, "Be still. If you dare attack me, I cannot guarantee the safety of you and your comrades here." He turns back to Jolene. "And you need to wipe that smile off your face. You
She's-
are not in control here. You will not do a thing here. Is that understood?"
am I incapable of reforming, or am I able to reform well enough?
You're kind of like half reformed, half not reformed.
Yeah. So possibly slightly in spite, but definitely more just trying to keep a good-natured facade, seemingly. She just kind of,
You
smiles.
don't have to. I could say that.
Yeah, she's keeping trying to keep on a little smile and just saying, "Oh, darling, you don't need to be in control. I just need things to go how I expect them to go. And so far, everything's going how I thought it would. And why would you do something so rude? And you know what's going to happen now, I'm assuming."
You can certainly give it a shot.
Yep. Let's see. Okay. so this is. Oh, the there's an
I
issue.
I will warn you on this though. This guy has been hinting very, very heavily at what happens if aggression is taken.
Yep.
So I want to make sure that you fully understand that there might be consequences should you do something.
Yep. I will tell you, I was checking on the one thing, but what I'm actually doing is I'm just checking something real quick. Yeah. Well, this might be counted as aggression, so I might not do that in the end. I was going to actually use something else. Because I was planning on the one and banking on the other. I wish I had the thing I really want. Yeah. So instead of directly showing aggression and doing what you probably planned, Jolene's just gonna kind of look to the door, her over there, her with our as of yet unseen friend, then back at our definitely not friend, and just say, "Yeah, darling, you're not very good at hiding the fact that he's obviously not ill. Oh, that poor Mayor. God, what is his name again? I forgot because I'm just thinking of him as the mayor now.
Bellows.
Bellows. That poor Bellows fella is obviously addled, and it's quite obvious, at least to me, that whatever you're putting in that food is definitely causing issues. She looks over to Amos and says, "And darling, you don't need to go and do anything right now. Or if they go and do anything in retaliation to what you might do, then we look like the bad guys, which is exactly what they want."
Yes, that is exactly what we want. If Starlight, you and your group here, knows any better, you will leave. If not, I cannot guarantee that your safety will last beyond a single night. Take that friendly gesture as a simple warning. You're not welcome here. And with that, he kind of gets up and he leaves.
So, yep. And
Amos kind of slams a paw to the ground. Fluffing bastards.
Yeah, Jolene just
You
kinda
know, he was a lot scarier the first time. He doesn't come up with new material.
Yeah, Jolene's gonna just kind of pat Amos on the head and say through the door, or to our potential friend, "Shay, darling, what do you think about us getting you out of that room and you helping us get rid of these fine fellas?"
You see, I'd like nothing more than to do that. I just have one thing that I need to handle first. So the thing is that Bippin over here, he's great. He's really old, and he's the medic. He keeps mumbling about needing a certain plant, and that it's in the woods outside the town. And so, moment I get out of here, first thing I'm doing is I'm going into that woods.
Yeah, Jolene's gonna go nod and look at Amos and just kind of say, "Darling, would you mind telling the others what our friend here has told us? I feel like y'all might be able to do that while I keep up the good looks, so to speak."
All right. I'll see if. Do you happen to know anything more about this plant, Shade?
Don't know the name of it. All that Bippin's been doing is giving the same sort of description over and over. He, unfortunately hasn't really been too coherent.
Alright, I'll go let the others know and I'll see if they found out where that mayor is. We can get that key to get out of here.
Yeah. Quick question. Did
Yes.
did you already say the description that the incoherent one already kind of was saying? Because
No, I have not mentioned that.
okay, was making sure I didn't zone out or anything. But yeah, Jolene's just gonna kind of say okay, you go let the others know. Well, maybe we can kind of reconvene and we can go and possibly find that flower. Come back and make this mess right. I'll stay here in case they come back, and I should be fine, I'm sure.
Also, let everyone in your group know not to eat or drink anything that you didn't bring with you. I don't know how much they've gotten to.
Alright. I don't know how. He said they were by the well, so they must have put whatever kind of poison this is in the water.
Yeah, and the moment that we started making a ruckus about it, all of a sudden, ooh, wow, everyone gets sick. How convenient.
How convenient. I'll let them know. I'm gonna need a little more backup if I'm gonna take that guy. I can't take him alone. Amos is gonna go and find the others.
I do want to ask, like, do we see that individual leave the building as well? Like,
Yes,
some-
you
okay.
actually do see him leave the building, and he headed in the direction that Azurith actually went into.
Kind of like I immediately turn over to like Argus and be like, "We gotta go." So, and I just like kind of point at that direction. They just left, and I don't know if this was kind of like before, if after Amos left out. Just like, I think it's time for us to go.
Yeah, I don't see Jolene, and he's going in the same direction as Azurith, and I don't like leaving Azurith alone.
And then this is where we kind of bump into Amos. And it's like,
Bump.
Amos.
Amos is just gonna say, they know we're from Starlight. They know what we're trying to do here. We're made. We need to make a plan to take these guys and figure out a way to cure the poison that they've been poisoning all the townsfolk with.
Well, he just headed in the same direction Azurith went.
All right.
Has me worried.
What about Jolene? Is Jolene alright?
Jolene's alright. They're in the building still with the. There's one townsfolk that seems to be alright. Seems anything people eat or drink around here is what's making them sick. So they put whatever kind of poison that they've been concocting into the water supply and the food. So don't eat or drink anything that we didn't bring with us.
Got it.
And this person we ran into, they are telling us that their medic knows of some plant that might be able to help. So we need to get them out, and we need to try to identify this plant. So we need to find where that mayor went.
The mayor went north with Azurith, and the same where the other guy went too.
And I know that, in fact, I'm sorry, I do know that Jet and Dart, they went to the other direction. They said they're gonna check something out. So. But I know that I'm sure that Jet and Dart will be fine, but I'm really worried about Azurith as well. I don't think either of us knows.
Azurith definitely doesn't know he's being followed.
Alright, we need to go after Azurith.
Give me 1 sec. We need to make sure that Blaze knows not to let anyone near our food.
Okay. Damn,
Blaze! And Argus is running back
yes?
to the cave. Okay,
What
don't
is
eat
it?
don't eat anything the road people give you, and don't let them near food, okay? They're doing something bad.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure.
I know you're tired. I'm
Are
sorry.
you really sure though? I mean, I'm really hungry.
You can eat the food that we have in the cart. Don't eat anything they give you.
Okay, I'll do my best.
Okay. Just I don't want you getting hurt, okay?
Okay.
And stay safe. And Argus is running back. Okay, Blaze is gonna watch the food. And I warned him about not eating anything.
Alright. We need to figure out a way to fight these people. I can't take that one guy alone. But we're gonna need to kill him.
Well, now there's 3 of us, and kill.
What else are we gonna do? We need to stop them from getting more reinforcements.
I figured we'd do something like, I don't know, knock him out, lower his health to 0, and then he can't do anything, and then he just gives up and walks away. Something like that.
Sure. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go. The more we talk, the more. Let's just go.
We
Come
can't
on.
let him. We're off to save Azurith.
Just
Okay.
If we defeat them in a battle, they have to give up. It's just criminal law, right?
All right, and then coming down to Seda and Jet, or to Dart and Jet. Are you guys ready for your scene?
Yes, we are.
Yep.
All right. So you've been following the figure for quite a while. And it appears that he does not actually know that he's being followed right now. He doesn't do any glances behind him. He doesn't stop and, look or anything like that. He just keeps walking. It's almost creepy how straight of a line he's walking. Occasionally, one of the nearby houses might peek out, and you see a couple of people kind of give a short little wave, but he does not respond to any of them.
Does he come across a rock and just walk straight over it?
Yes, he does.
Oh no!
Right over.
No,
it.
but
I'm sorry, I had to make that
he does do
reference.
things. He does do things like avoid little potholes, stuff like that. But otherwise, he's pretty straight and narrow. What do you do?
So we're still in the Oran Grove village area then?
Yes. Although at this point, it's probably been about 5 to 10 minutes, and you're beginning to see trees, like more and more trees kind of popping up. And if you look closely, you can see that each of them are filled with berries.
I guess they've set up outside of town.
See how far it goes.
Okay.
And
That's,
that's what
Would any of you be willing to give me a insight survival alert, please?
sure thing.
Do you want both of us or just one?
Both of you. You can both make the check
Okay.
because you're both looking and following.
Inside survival alert.
Oh, very nice, Dart.
Whoa, Dart. This is why Dart's in charge now.
Oh, very nice, Jed, as well. As you both are walking behind this individual, you can actually see that there's something clipped to the creature's belt. It appears to be a shiny gold key.
Hmm.
I want.
Could you describe this individual, please?
Sure thing. Allow me to bring up our good old random Pokemon generator. Let's see what you guys get.
And suddenly we're facing off against Mewtwo.
No.
Oh,
It's-
that would be funny.
You know, while
Well,
Rygon's rolling, Dart was going to whisper to Jet, like, because surely if it's just the two of them, they could use all the help they can get. Alluding to the line of thinking that Dart is going to converse with once they eventually catch up with the individual. Just feigning the, oh, well, it just seemed like you two, you could have really used the help. I didn't know it was X number of people.
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10,
Dart.exe
20,
has run
30,
out of
40.
conversionization script.
What?
Rebooting Dart.
Argus EXE has stopped working due to big words?
Rebooting August. Turning upside down.
What?
All right, let's get back to the scene real quick. So the creature that you are looking at seems to be of relatively average height. Again, taller than the innkeeper himself, but he seems to prefer to be at a on all fours. You can't actually see too much from the robes. There doesn't seem to be any tail, but you do occasionally catch the glimpse of a yellow paw, either on in front or in back, doesn't matter. And you can catch the appearance of a yellow, like a light yellow snout. It appears to be of relatively average length. And from what you also can recall in the brief moments that you were in contact with them over at the intersection, they smelled faintly of burnt cinders.
Hmm. Uh, Jet is kind of looking around as well at the villagers that you said were peeking out. Because you said they were waving at him. Do they appear to be cultist members as well, or...
Well, they just seem to be kind of just your average folk, Mon. They don't appear to be wearing any of the cult's clothings.
Hmm. Well, they definitely seem to have everybody here convinced that they're on the up and up.
Oh, would you give him a little hope?
How far out do you think their camp is, or wherever they're going?
Not sure, but let's continue.
Okay. After about another couple of minutes, you begin to catch a very faint smell of food in the air. It's already making your stomachs grumble. Off in a little bit in the distance, you can see what appears to be a collection of small white tents. They're kind of scattered around, and you can clearly see more of the white robes with purple trim figures walking amongst the tents. Some of them appear to be kind of flitting from place to place, carrying supplies. Others appear to be standing more or less on guard, though you don't see any weapons in hand. And very clearly in the center of the camp, you can see what appears to be a banner with the imagery that all of you are all too familiar with of Alabaster Gleam. It, however, is colored purple with a red heart upon it.
Jet's going to put his Starlight badge away. Take it off and just put it in his bag. And he's also gonna try and get a rough head count.
At this distance, it's a little hard to tell. The figures are obviously hiding behind tents, flitting back and forth to and fro, and they all look so similar to each other that you can't quite tell who is who. It's hard to separate them. At your count, you count somewhere between 20 and 40 individuals.
There's definitely a lot more of them than I expected here.
Hmm.
You still want to... Well, I guess trying to jump them's not going to work.
I don't think it's wise for us to enter the tent without knowing how they'll treat us. But if they've come down to the campgrounds, we know where it is now, they're gonna come back. So I suppose, as opposed to taking on the large risk of going into the campgrounds, let's wait for our friend or someone else to head back into town. And then we ask, like, if there's any way we can help. Because I don't think they'd be so happy to see some quarantined Pokemon entering their safe zone. So best to it's best to wait here. I don't want anyone getting sick now.
I
Dart
definitely
phrasing
don't.
it. Start phrasing that way just on the off chance he might be overheard by someone else, so he's feigning a desire to help.
Alright, so we'll just wait here then. Jet is going to keep a close eye on things, trying to determine, gather what information that he can see of their plans. Though, actually, they're out in the trees themselves, right?
Kind of more or less, or like in a clearing.
How tall are the trees?
They're about the average height of like a tree that you'd find on like the side of any American countryside, or not countryside, American like small town kind of place. They're tall, but they're obviously taken care of. They've been trimmed down, assumedly to boost production.
Does Jet think that he could possibly shadow sneak up into the foliage of one of them? One of the trees around the clearing to get a closer look?
You can certainly try, although this is a new thing for you. You won't be even sure if it would be possible for it to work. One thing that you are quite certain of, though, is that wherever you spawn, it has to at least be as big as your body. So you wouldn't be able to spawn on a little twig, for example.
Oh yeah, he wants to be back in the tree itself. anyways. He wants to be back in the shadows, behind the leaves as much as possible, but somewhere where he's less likely to get spotted, but able to see.
Honestly,
So,
I'd say you can definitely give it a go.
of course, he's going to.
Your shadow sneak is already unlocked for you, right?
Yes.
Okay, then you don't have to roll for that. About the only thing you'd have to roll is for keeping your balance as soon as you spawn.
Okay.
So if you could give
Dart.
me a dexterity, survival, athletic, that should be enough to suffice. Roll it when you're ready.
Yes, Jet?
I think I might be able to use my shadow sneak, or my little meld into shadows thing to get up onto one of the branches in the trees over there. Could get a closer look.
I'd be careful. I'm actually thinking, since they're more likely to come back the way we just came, as opposed to looking at the camp, which we can see there's a lot of Pokemon. What if we use the reprieve to investigate, or maybe talk to some of the townsfolk? They seem curious. Maybe we can get a unfiltered observation. But if you want to get a view of the camp, we can can't hurt.
I can always come back later to get that view. We know where it is, but that's not a bad idea. Especially before they get sick themselves from what these guys are doing.
Duke.
There's
you two are
definitely something
discussing-
weird going on with that.
What's going on?
Oh, just the Marten bot.
Oh. As both of you are talking, you can see the figure reach the edge of the camp, and they head inside. Do you two choose to continue watching for another few minutes?
I figured we would be watching for a minute or two more.
Yeah, I think it's like a minute or two.
Okay. As you continue to watch, you can see a sudden burst of activity from inside the camp. And one of the figures kind of like takes off into the sky, and they soon disappear from sight over the woods.
Ah, well, that's
Oh, good.
and they're already out of view.
I mean, if you try rushing real quickly and are willing to expose yourselves, you could maybe catch up before they truly get their flight going. But otherwise, yeah.
I don't think we should let them get a message out, and that's what it looks like they're doing.
I don't think it's wise to chase after them, though.
It probably isn't. We could just go ahead and start asking the villagers about this, but
I think it might be escalating too quickly for that, though. If that is a message being sent out,
They
We
could
might
be
know.
trying to summon those monsters we saw from the Alabaster Gleam. Well, whatever you want to do here, Dart. But we gotta go fast if we're gonna try and get him.
do you think we can handle it on our own?
How big was the creature that flew off?
It was relatively small. One of the smaller bird types, or flying types, rather. All
I
that you
think
saw from the robes was a long yellow beak and 2 white wings.
I think we probably could. We could try and grab him, and I could try and force them to eat one of the electrobites. That seemed to have a good effect on Vector. Maybe they would be affected the same way.
Okay, you got about 10 seconds to make a decision.
It's risky, but we should.
You go ahead and stay here. Jet's going to try and use his shadow sneak to catch up, and just basically popping in and out to different spots after it.
Okay.
Ninja powers.
Ninja powers, yeah.
Well, while I can certainly allow you to do that, you are going to be tired. So, I think you can only perform that maybe 3 or 4 times in a row before you become a bit tired.
That is up to you and your rolling on that.
I think so. So you can certainly try, but it'll only get you about halfway. Then you'll have to run.
Well, if you could at least get somewhere that's more out of sight of the camp and then start running, I think that would probably be the better strategy.
Sure. The figure itself seems to be kind of gliding along relatively slow. They're kind of staying a little low to the woods. They don't seem to be in any particular hurry. You are able to shadow sneak your way closer. Go ahead and roll me then a
Real quick,
we'll
he'll
say a
tell.
dexterity survival stealth.
Real quick, he will tell Dart, I'll go ahead. You follow up behind.
Is there a way to follow in the general direction without getting near the camp?
If the shortest way is going to have to be going at least around the camp. If you choose to go for a wider berth, in order to not be spotted, around the edges of the clearing, it'll take you at least another 30 seconds.
I will do that.
Okay.
And you wanted... Sorry, go ahead. Oh, I was just going to ask, what role was it that you wanted? Dex, survival?
Dexterity, survival, stealth, please.
Okay.
You are able to succeed. You managed. I mean, nobody in particular is kind of looking out for you at all. The figure obviously didn't expect to be tailed. So you are able to get behind a tent, and from there you feel reasonably sure that you could dash without being too seen. As for you, Dart, the extra time it took you to get around to the edges of the clearing, you kind of lost a little bit of the track of where the figure is. Go ahead and roll for me an insight survival alert, please. Just to see if you can catch a glimpse of them. Unfortunately, you've lost the trail.
We do have one reroll. if everyone's good with that being used here.
It's fine.
Yeah.
I think it might be a little underwhelming of a reroll, but I
True, it might be better used for Jet's opening attack for trying to bring it down.
Our big problem of reroll is we never use them. So I
That
think we
is
should
fair.
at least use it this session.
I
I will say using rerolls aggressively generally over time kind of turns out to be a good play.
Yeah. Well, I'm just thinking, like, is me keeping a hold of the trail the better reroll, or making sure that Jet gets out of the camp safely the better reroll?
Well, Jet made out of the camp. Made its first attack.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I
The
guess
o- The only consideration I would have is for Jet's first attack against the bird. Because the harder he hits it, the more likely he is to stop it from getting away. But that said, I'm still good with you using it here.
at least on the flip side there, if I keep the truck, then I might be able to assist with the opening volley.
Exactly. Well, probably not the opening one, but yeah.
Well, if it's any opposition, say no. I think this is a rise reroll, considering that I rolled a 0, basically.
I think Jet having backup would probably be the better option, even if it is delayed backup.
Okay, I will do the reroll.
I approve.
Alrighty.
And then you get all 5s.
Close enough.
You are able to see the figure going through the tree. They are actually rather close to you. Enough so that a simple hop, skip, and a jump might just be enough to catch them.
Physically catch him?
Yes. They're flying rather low.
Oh,
How
so
far away
Jet...
from the camp?
How
Yeah,
far
I'm a
away
little
from
confused.
The camp? You are within visual distance of the camp. Like, this is them kind of like on that upward glide where they are just starting to, go up so they can make it past the trees. So if I had to draw something out for you all. All right. If you can see on the board, the camp is like over here, right? You guys would be like over here, and this is like the trajectory that the figure is going. So right about here is where you could potentially catch them. Otherwise, you'll have to climb a tree.
We're definitely not tree climbers.
I mean, we also have option of, ballistic warfare. With pellet shot and charge stone. That's what I was
Entirely
figuring
up to
would
you.
happen in the beginning first, but
I would just make your decision before it flies away.
Yeah. I'm thinking if, like, how visual of a range of the camp is it? Being very quick with the questions here.
You can see like the occasional figure kind of like dashing between the various tents, but otherwise it's far enough away that nobody is like really looking in your direction.
All right. Well, do I see Jet?
You see Jet coming from the direction of the camp. Somehow you managed to get ahead of him.
Oh, wow.
Darts ahead. Anyways, if as long as Jet can see what I'm doing, if I'm in close enough range to make a lunge tackle to the ground, I think I'm gonna take it. Gotta be bold here.
All right, go ahead. Give me your attack.
But not just like I was thinking more of just an actual jump towards them.
No, go ahead.
Oh, we want me roll.
Go ahead
Your
and
attack.
roll. Well, you're pouncing, right?
Kind of
We'll
what I'm
make this a
thinking.
dexterity. We'll make this a dexterity fight brawl.
Oof. Here goes nothing.
You got one.
Okay. We'll see how the figure rolls.
Does it even know it's being attacked?
Unfortunately, the figure sees you coming.
Can Jet launch a charge stone at the same time?
Yes, you can try.
Okay. That was this one. A little hard to see with this setup. Dex fight channel.
I believe.
Okay. That meets it.
Doesn't that count as a crit? I can never
Let me take
remember the
another look.
crit rules.
Are you guys
Uh,
doing something special, or is this base?
This is a
we'll just say this.
movement and its base. Yeah.
We'll just roll it as is.
So for the base rules, critical hit is when you get 5 successes on the accuracy roll of a damage move.
Holy crap, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Reason
just-
why in
But not just 6s. Okay.
not just 6.
No, not just 6, it's just 5 successes.
Okay.
And then
Yeah.
it adds 2 bonus dice to the damage pool.
I also feel like I should point out that in the 2.0 version, it is just 3 over what's needed to hit. For example, if you roll 4 successes, we need 1 to hit. You will score a crit.
Fair enough. I'll keep that
Well-
in mind if I play that system.
The damage would be strength plus 2. And then they also have a chance of paralysis. Which I think we were utilizing Lick for that.
I think so.
Yeah. So if one of these is a 6, they're paralyzed. And one of them was! Ha ha!
Okay, for the 0, it didn't do any damage. Would that still
Uh,
count?
Everything does 1 min damage.
Oh, that's right.
And
So-
also, successes don't negate damage rolls, if I'm correct. Positive, though.
Well, either way, the main thing that I wanted here wasn't so much damage as the paralysis.
Okay.
Kind of gonna
All right, so then to
interrupt
describe the
flying for, if they're paralyzed.
Yeah, no problem. So then
I-
to set the scene, Dart, you come out of nowhere. You bound towards the figure. Maybe you step on a stump or a rock or something or another. You leap towards them. The creature had been just having kind of a casual little. You can even hear him literally saying. And then he kind of catches you out of the corner of his eye, and with a squawk, like turns and just dives right out of your way, right into the pathway of Jet's rock, which bops against him, and you can immediately see the bird kind of like freeze up, and then they fall out of the sky onto the ground. What do you do?
Jet is running over quickly.
Dart is running over quickly. Make sure the bird does not have a chance to get up
Okay.
or speak.
Hey, what are you two? What are you doing?
pulled the beak shut.
The creature can clearly see that they are outnumbered, and you can see them kind of like glance over at the camp, which is still in sight, hoping that somebody saw something.
When Jet gets over there, he's going to take out that extra finely made twine and tie the beak shut. And glancing back at the camp, he's like, I think we should probably pull them a bit further away.
Agreed. Can't you do your lick thing or whatever?
Oh, right, that thing. He's gonna shudder a little bit at thinking about doing it and lean in and give him well, I mean, is he clearly under the paralysis effect, the same thing that the lick would do?
Yeah, currently.
Okay, so we would know that he's paralyzed already?
At least for a little bit.
Okay.
I mean, he's starting to like kind of twitch a little bit, but that's about it.
I think he's already under the same effects that would do.
All right, now let's get him away quickly.
I knew that twine would come in handy at some point.
You knew you could tie things up so well with paws.
Fair point.
All right, you got yourself a captive.
Again.
War crimes.
How many captives have we gotten that are flying?
Not enough.
Things?
This is the second one.
Need more.
We are going to take him away. Take the bird away from the camp.
Maybe we can be friends with it. 2 for 2.
Guess we'll find out. I
don't think
all right,
we
so
care.
before we pull away, or I'll give the option. Does anyone else want to have a scene? We've got about a half hour left.
Oh no, have we done the thing that we're supposed to do?
What do you mean?
Doing a thing.
Oh, we're certainly doing something.
We were supposed to complete the thing, or we wouldn't be able to play anymore.
I think we're doing a thing.
I think you're doing the thing.
I think we're doing
Okay.
the thing.
We are doing the thing.
I just
Listen.
worry.
Yeah, Jolene,
Now
do
listen.
Jolene, do the thing.
I was about to ask if Jolene did it. I'm giving Dirt a bucket of water.
I mean, right now, all that I've been able to do is be the Frenchman from Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
I love it. It's amazing.
Which one are you? The one on the left or the one on the right?
You're gonna taunt us.
Go away! I shall taunt you a second time.
Then what I'd like to do is maybe pull over to Jolene real quick, mostly because the other 2 scenes I figure are going to take a while. We'll wrap up there, then we'll have a round robin and call it a night unless people want to go on further.
I'm happy to call it night after Jolene's scene. I just need to use the bathroom one more time quickly.
I say I definitely am going to need to call it a night. After this, I am tired and it is late.
We need to get Dart a portable fire hydrant.
So during the ending thing, but before we stop recording, we should also probably actually go over Shade's character sheet.
Yes. Although that could probably be done after recording.
I mean, I guess it depends if Zim wants it to be in recording or out of recording.
Oh, how about this? As Arzadeu, go ahead and take a look at that sheet. Make sure it's looking okay. I think Aurum also had that.
I have put on the note card all of my EXP purchases.
Ooh, I like
Along
it.
with cost. Feint Attack is a 17 EXP move, so I made sure to note that.
I love it. I love the notes. That's the kind of notes I would take. Brilliant.
Just go ahead and
also-
just give it a quick look over. Make sure that it's
Yeah.
in line with the rest of ours.
Just so you know, these little dots is me marking where my max ability score is.
Oh, that's cute. I approve. I think it looks fine. Though I don't have the
I'm just
booklet
going-
thing
I'm just going over
to look through,
myself.
but Pokemon wise it looks okay. My video game knowledge.
Um,
And compared to ours, yeah.
question.
You went
Uh,
to
Yep.
everything.
if I may ask, this is a Rygon question. Are
What's
you
up?
fine with having 2 in a specialty skill, like say 2 in a brawl and 2 in evasion?
If
We-
they've been purchased, I believe so.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay, so during character creation, I was very specific that 1 point went into Brawl. That was my free, Brawl section.
Yeah.
And then the free Anywhere one went 1 point into Evasion. If you look at my
Enjoy
note card,
your
it even says
stay.
Brawl 2 and Evasion 2 were purchased.
So,
Hmm.
real quick, Taldarius, you
Go
get
ahead.
2 of the mid-tier stats.
Yep.
At character
I
creation.
purchased the third. Or, no, no, you
For-
get 3. And I purchased the 4th.
We only got 2.
Oh,
What?
okay. Because that was not explained to me, because I even, double checked with Rygon.
Wait.
Wait,
The
no,
mid-tier?
That's
we
why we're checking.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What is
his sheet looks
mid-tier?
right.
the fight survival contest.
Yeah, we had 3.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did it right. He did that right.
Um,
Yeah,
It-
you can
for
only
the
put
skills-
2. You can only put 2 in a specific one
yes,
by Rygon's
yes.
rules. So I couldn't put 3 fight.
Yeah.
But I could put 2 fight, 1 survival, which is what I did. And then I purchased contest 1.
Yeah, I think we
Um,
should do this after we
yeah.
finish up.
I agree.
Yeah.
Probably. We were just kind of doing this because it was little mini break time.
Otherwise, yeah, yours
Alright.
looked really good. Like a really solid character.
Go ahead, just
I
go
like
ahead and
it.
give it another quick look over. If you both are satisfied, then we'll leave it alone.
I'm satisfied right now.
Jolene,
Yeah, it looks good to me.
or actually, is Seda back?
Yes, I did say I was back.
Seda
Okay.
needs a portable hydrant.
Jolene?
Yeah.
You're by yourself. Your face is still stinging from the slap. What do you do?
Jolene is going to start just with a very audible sigh, just one of those long ones. Just
So you wouldn't happen to know how to pick a lock, would you?
well, darling, I don't know how, but I could definitely give it a try. I don't exactly have tools on me though. Gonna kind of go over with it and I could try this though. Just kind of poke the nubbly, try and jimmy it, but don't think it'll work because I'm pretty sure we already went over that. But I don't think she's had a direct reason to try to jimmy a lock or not pick
Yeah,
a lock.
it's
with
one
her
of those things that
nubbly.
it would require a level of fine manipulation that you just don't possess.
Yep.
And because I don't want to deal with you being able to unlock literally anything.
There could be specific types of locks, to be fair. Different locks.
Because of
have
the
Only
different,
application.
Only good locks. Or an oven lock. You can unlock an oven at
You-
any point.
She could actually probably
can
mess
see-
with deadbolts.
Yeah, probably. You can see that the lock itself is a rather sturdy lock. It's I mean the door itself was obviously designed in order to contain stuff.
Yeah, she's gonna kind of give a couple of pokes and just say, well, darling, while I can to some extent just get myself into places I probably shouldn't, I don't think I can quite pick the lock. she's gonna kind of then float down and kind of push her nubbly under the door slightly and be like, "You can probably see what I mean right now."
Yeah. Okay. Quick question. You said you had a lot of friends here, right?
Not a ton. I think there's what, 6 players, 3 NPCs.
6 other players, 3 NPCs, one of which is kind of out of commission.
Yeah, so that's what I was gonna say. We're counting only 8 and then 1 injured, but there are 8 of us, so a decent number that are, I guess you could say, able-bodied. And one who is injured. They're recovering.
Are any of them good at digging?
Well, there's a few I would assume are pretty good at it. I don't know that I've seen any of them do so yet, though.
Okay,
Down the
because
tunnel for snow.
I got up some of the floorboards in here and I've been trying to dig. Hasn't been going well for me. But I could knock on the side of the wall and you could get a friend that's good at digging over there. And I got the floorboards up. We could sneak me right out of here.
Oh, Dart's biology is built for digging.
Yeah. I was about to say, Jolene's kind of going to say, "That's a pretty darn good idea. I might just peek out and see if I can see the others returning. Don't exactly want to leave when those fellas are coming, just in case got his name again.
Bellow?
Bellow, yeah.
Bellows, yeah.
Yeah. That Bellows fella comes back. I don't want him getting the wrong idea. But I'll definitely at least, peek outside and see if they're on their way." So
you peek outside, you don't see anything.
yeah, she's going to.
We all left.
Yeah, she's going to go back in and say, "Don, we have a bit of a issue. I don't actually see any of my party. I'm going to assume they all went to try and do something, which could
It's just
mean."
It's only like Blaze over by the wagon. He's just like, "Hello."
Yeah, he Jolene would have gave him a little wave and then went back in and like, "I could possibly go out and check for him, but I have no clue which way I'd check."
Dick.
So he might. I don't exactly want to just go breaking things, but we could try to bash down the door.
That's pretty optimistic right there. I needed that. Yeah, all that banging you heard, that's me trying the door.
Say, is this a door that opens in or out?
In.
Okay. So, well, she's gonna kind of look around. Let me try something real quick. If that don't work, well, I'm not got any bright ideas besides just going and finding them. So she is going to she's gonna do the thing. Though I do need to double check with you because it seems like the roll that was set for my milk splash was set as special channel. The other one, special.
I think
channel
so because
feature.
it's not like a physical attack. It was something else.
Yeah, and I was just wanting to make sure that was right because I don't think I've seen anything else that uses 2 from the that tiny box. There's probably 1 maybe, but I just wasn't sure.
Well, would you like a hint on what you could do?
I mean, I could also just, find something in here that, could be used. Because it probably is. But part of the reason I'm doing that is because Jolene doesn't really think there's going to be a key or any easy-to-use object here.
I mean, could I interject with something?
Go ahead.
I mean, could you potentially fit under the door?
I know we went over this at one point. I don't.
Like, I was willing for some types of spaces.
Yeah.
Say I was gonna say I
Well,
don't know if
it's
this would
the gap
be-
is big enough that I can like fit my paws through there. So
Yeah.
And that
It's a
should
detail I
be-
picked up on.
Yeah, say that
Yeah,
should be
well,
big enough then. Because
I assumed that she could get out, but like, what does that do?
I'm gonna actually say this. In the interest of actually having something entertaining happen, I'll say yes, you can fit underneath the door. It's a sturdy door, but it's got a relatively big gap underneath. Not big enough for Shade to fit through, but it's big enough for you to fit through.
Yes, because I can squeeze. Because liquid.
So yeah, she's gonna kind of like peek under the door, push herself partly way through, and say, "You got anything in here I could try to look with? Don't see anything out there."
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put down the token. Well, they got some stuff in here. I'm not exactly sure what. It's on the table. By the way, like as you look at Shade, you could see he's very clearly like emaciated at this point.
Yeah.
Along with a bunch of food in the corner, and some floorboards that have been pried up with a trowel next to the hole. It's not exactly very deep.
Yeah. So gonna squeeze the rest of the way through with a little, and then gonna go over to the table and search for anything that could be pick useful. Though she's not necessarily going to be great at that.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a Insight Survival Alert. Our favorite roll.
Yeah. Okay. So that's.
Okay, as you're squeezing through the door, you actually notice that the hinges on the door are not of great quality.
Yeah. So if I notice that as I'm squeezing, she's gonna kind of stop as she's like partway through squeezing all through, and kind of go like her whole face just kind of spins around in herself to look closer. She's gonna say, "Huh, this gives me a good idea." She's gonna target the hinges and give them a splash. Or try to.
Your splash probably wouldn't work, but you can give me a strength check.
I don't think that's gonna do anything with a single point.
I knew
Hey,
bashing the door would have been
50-50.
a good.
What about a dexterity? Maybe you could just pull the bolts out of the hinges.
I mean, it's also.
I think that's what
possible.
the strength is for.
Oh, but
Yeah.
The strength is to bash them, like target them with a bash, but the dexterity would be to pull them out with a pin.
See, I knew bashing the door would have been a great idea.
Okay, so I will do the dexterity. And I'm gonna do this in the most like would unnerve anybody way, and I'm just gonna kind of move myself around the edge of the door as I'm squished, so that I can get to one hinge and should just start wiggling it out. So a dexterity.
I just imagine you go amorphous blob over it and kind of just absorb the bolt and pull it out with yourself.
All right, that's one.
Yep. Gonna try and get to the other to do the same. Is there 2 or 3 hinges?
Just 2.
Okay. So, and
To be fair, the bottom one may be enough for me to finally smack my way out of it.
Okay, the second one you're not quite as successful on. It wiggles a little bit, comes a little loose, but not quite all the way.
Okay. Yep, and she's gonna kind of just go down and say, "Yeah, I think you can knock through the door with it like this."
Hmm. Well, I'll give it a try.
Yep.
Just you may want to move.
Yep. Give me just a moment. Borp. Oop.
Okay, darling.
All right, backing up to get a running start.
All right. Give me a strength.
All right. Can I actually power it up with a move, or?
Do you have a physical move?
Yeah, all my moves are physical.
Yeah, you could power it up with one.
All right. In that case, I'm probably going to use feint attack, because that way it's
All right,
stab.
go ahead.
I do not have a fancy schmancy roller.
Just use anybody's.
Okay. Zim,
Use
you're closest.
mine. Oh.
Zim's closest. How do I do this? No, wait, hold on. Okay.
Just click it for each time.
Okay, I was trying to figure out how to actually do that. Wasted a really good roll. Let's go. So what do? Do I roll like the damage on the move, or?
I'm gonna say yeah, it's an automatic hit because it's a door. Just go ahead.
Okay,
and,
I didn't waste the roll then, because that's the right roll. So that's 4.
Well,
oh wait, no, it's not. It's not the right roll. I need to roll 3 dice because it's stab.
I'll say you can go ahead and you can roll for the damage, and you don't.
Hey,
You bounce
question,
right
wait.
off the door.
Hang on, question. What's your move you're trying to use?
Feint attack.
So it's strength plus 2, meaning you count your strength, you add 2 more dice to it to represent the power, and you add your stab, which is 5 dice.
Okay, cool. Learning.
Well,
Learning.
unfortunately, you did make a roll though.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Well, I
Okay,
mean,
still
if
not
the
bad.
thing is just rolling, we could technically just use the first one because that was technically a roll.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, you run at it. You run as hard as you can, and you just go boop right off the door.
Boing. You bounce off like it's a trampoline door.
It jiggles quite a bit though. It jiggles quite a bit because of the loose hinge.
The door evades your
And
attack.
and it jiggles just enough that that little pin on top of it just kind of goes like, and the door swings open while you're lying on your back on the ground.
This is adorable.
That's hilarious.
I'm gonna get up and like stumble very noticeably back and forth, and then like try to like make my way out. Well, I guess Jack was right that I do have a pretty hard head. That didn't feel too good.
She's kind of chuckling and say, yeah, well, feel good or not, at least you made it through. She's gonna look at the door, look at the door that she came in from, and say, yeah, it's probably best we don't stay here now. I'm gonna say, hazard a guess that they're not gonna be pleased you're out.
That is very true. I would ask if we have a time for the detour for the inn, but I want to be out of here.
I have to go back towards the inn to let the others know. The injured one and the one looking after them. But you.
Oh, okay, great. I'm gonna follow you for
The foreseeable future.
Forever.
he is going to make a quick.
friend.
He is going to make a quick stop inside and knock over the table.
So Jolene would have started heading to the thing, hearing that fall over, because I doubt that would not be hearable. You're gonna just kind of look back at our new friend with a little half smile and say, "Feel better?"
I do. I do.
Very good.
My head hurts a lot, but that feels good.
Yep, and then going to start explaining what's happening to Blaze and Doc.
And end scene. Yep. All right. Round robin time. So starting at the very top, Aurum. Something that you liked about the session, something you felt could have been improved. Burning thought or idea, please.
So I just like this entire session. It seemed like we each had at least one small moment to ourselves where we got to do something, and I like we split up in now four different groups to take on this, and it actually feels like we're doing something now instead of just running. It honestly feels like we're doing something. Like in our very first mission. Something I didn't like? Probably just that as much as it feels like we're doing something, it also feels like we didn't do enough yet. Because it's like, but there's still problems, we need to fix it. Burning thought or idea? Argus wants to smash.
Argus wants to smash?
Argus does
Argus-
not like the Alabaster Gleam, and when there's none of those zombie things around, he doesn't feel as scared of them.
Fair enough.
So he's snippy, he's angry because they've hurt what was his name? Alcidae. They hurt he had to almost buy Dart from him. And they wouldn't let him say hi to the person who helped rescue all of them. Shadow? Blade?
Smoke.
They chased off Smoke. They chased off Blade. He really does not like them. And when there's not those scary guys, well, he feels like, it's okay. I can take these ones.
It's time for Smash or Pass with Argus.
Yes.
Whoa.
And he's going to
Ooh.
smash
Everything.
with rocks.
Alrighty.
Honestly, I was
Abby.
hoping. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead and finish your thought.
I was hoping one of them would come back nearby because Argus was going to try to stealth rock trip one of them. So he falls on his face.
Yeah, for so brave. Alright, Avi, something you liked, something you felt could have been improved, burning thought or idea.
I mean, definitely. I mean, it's honestly, I'm just like really excited. Like, I'm really liking how kind of like the buildings of suspense in the situation, which is really good. Also just kind of, I mean, trying to see like, I really don't know what else to say. I'm really enjoying the current session right now. I mean, more or less, burning question is, well, whatever, I just, making sure. I guess more or less the burning question is really how we're gonna take this on, and I'm really excited to see how this is gonna turn out. So,
Okay.
yeah, I mean, yeah.
Alright. Zim? Something you liked, something you felt could have been improved, burning thought or idea, please.
For something I liked, I definitely enjoyed the mayor. He was quite delightful. Wait, why is that making so much noise? Sorry, ADHD moment there. Anyways, something I
Hey,
felt
that's
could
mine. You can't have it.
something I felt could be improved. More Pokerole.
Rejected.
F.
More Pokerole.
F for fluff it.
I mean, there were a few moments where I tried to get a word in edgewise and got spoken over. But overall, it was fine. Just would have liked to get a bit more time in. But we also split off from the rest
Oh.
of the group, so it's, you know.
Yeah. And don't forget, you also have the coin. The coin, you can flip it, present it, let us know that you have something you want to say, so we make sure to make room for you.
What about the coin?
I remembered it, but it was always one of those where it would have been backtracking to try and get what I was trying to say in.
Gotcha.
And yeah.
Well, thank you for being polite and letting the scene carry on then. Burning thought or idea?
Well, right now I'm wanting to find out where this bird was going and what they might have with them. Because I'm fairly certain that it was carrying some sort of message.
Who's to say?
Not the bird, because his beak is kind of.
Ark, I have a
Peduncle.
message.
That does present an issue, doesn't it? All right, Taldarius, something you liked, something you felt could have been improved, burning thought or idea, please.
I will say that I liked my opportunity to be the Frenchman from, Monty Python and the Holy Grail. I got to put in a lot of the work that I did on, like, making interesting character and like putting together like the personality trait of like the interesting threats and all that.
Mhm.
One thing that I felt could be improved is just the length. Like, when I know splitting the party is always going to end up happening, but like the length of time that is spent where like people are just doing nothing versus like just waiting their turn. Could definitely like try and do something where it's a little bit more, hey, you've had a certain amount of time for this scene, let's see what's been happening in the meantime.
Yeah. Which I don't disagree. You probably noticed a few times I was pulling away the scenes, even though things were kind of still petering out.
Yeah.
Burning thought or idea?
Burning thought question idea is, what the hell kind of plan am I going to be looking for in the upcoming session?
It's a great question. All right, Arzadeyu, something you liked, something you felt could have been improved, burning thought or idea?
I do like the fact that we're coming back to the problem we ran away from. The fact that, oh no, there's a town in danger from Alabaster Gleam with a sickness. How are you going to deal with this? And this time, instead of fleeing from it, we're facing it head on. I'm really liking it, really enjoying it. I have not come up with a lot of ideas to do things in a long while. Granted, the reality of them happening feels very slim and feels out of character. But I've gotten some nice ideas. Things to improve. I think there should be something for the people that are just currently sitting around doing nothing while a scene goes on. I'm trying to think of what. I don't know at this moment.
Well, honestly, if you can think of something, feel free to let me know, because unfortunately, splitting the party, I mean, that's just kind of how it goes a little bit.
It's gonna happen.
I'm not glad we split the party.
Yeah. It's the same sort of thing where, like, I brought it up where it's like, it's always going to happen. Maybe just try and find a way to, like, make it so it's not as long stretch of time. It's gonna happen. It's just gonna happen.
Here's an interesting thought. What if we use the text box for some roleplaying? To describe, character actions. The small minor ones, nothing too major, that would need to say roles. Was just casually going on in the background.
The only issue that I personally have with that is that we are putting on a show. And, like, wanting people to look at the screen and what is being written instead of just listening along. Plus, people that are doing that are then therefore distracted from listening to the scene going on.
I mean, on a video sense, it's not too bad. People can kind of rewind a little bit. On a me sense, though, then that's two things I'm having to look at in order to pay attention and respond to both. And I'll be honest, I don't know if I have always the ability to do that. I can catch things here and there, but otherwise, some things just might slip past my attention. I'm not saying you can't do it. You certainly can do in like little character things like Shade goes off to stand in a corner, or Lyndon, I don't know, licks herself because she's delicious. Little things like that, I don't mind, but anything more serious than that would probably be too dividing on my attention.
Why are you making me out to be a brooder already? I have not brooded once.
Sorry, dark type
Yet.
stereotypes.
I have yet to brood.
Yeah, yes you did.
Burning
You
thought or
bombed
idea?
the door. Burning thought or idea. I have to keep out of character knowledge, aka the fact that we've been found out, out of Azurith, and I'm curious how that scene's gonna go, with, assuming the mayor and that one Alabaster Gleam person who I really want to punch in the face.
Speaking of, I would like to clarify that Jet putting away his badge was not metagaming. I know that the roleplay and stuff that was brought up, but Seda and I were messaging a little bit about our plans without us going off, and I mentioned how we had the badge and stuff. Just want that noted. I had thought about that before. It's just I didn't get to roleplay it until after it was, the big bad guy mentioned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, one big thing is that there's like differences between like reasonable obsec and obvious metagaming. Like, it's entirely reasonable that like if they're planning on sneaking in to try and join them, that, oh hey, maybe don't have identification for a rival organization on.
That was our thinking.
Yeah. So there's definitely a difference between like metagaming and like coincidental things like that.
All right, Seda, something you liked, something you felt could have been improved, burning thought or idea, please.
I really like the flow of this session. Like, I know we've made a lot of structural changes to how we run things that we mentioned at the beginning, that I felt like things felt focused. I felt like we didn't get our attention drawn away, and we got a lot happen this session. And like I hope we are able to keep up the pace. I liked how the different events were presented, and it was a reasonable opportunity to take initiative on things. Pseudo compliment transitioning into the didn't like. I did have my worries about how we'd be able to handle 8 players. Holy moly. And I think for the most part you did a really good job on that. I think, as was previously just mentioned, there are some periods where like maybe the scene played out a little bit longer. I know I was trying to make sure I was keeping the scenes I was in brief or concise, recognizing that, because the more we drag on, the less time others have. But I think that's just probably something we're all just going to have to get adjusted to, and like spend less time deliberating, more time just action. But I didn't detract from the session. I really enjoyed it. Burning thought or idea, how deep does the reboot hole go? Like,
oh my god, that's adorable.
Because holy Arceus, like, we have one branch of Alabaster Gleam and Starlight. We have the super scary branch of Alabaster Gleam out in the world, and now we have a third one? Aren't they just like doing some like reverse Pride event with all the different colors and combinations of their uniform?
We knew there were 3 branches because the 3 leaders. We knew about the 3 leaders.
Are we just going to have an entire rainbow of Alabaster Gleam?
Who knows? Maybe.
Oh no, when they
No,
bring out the
who's
Rainbow
gonna know?
Squad, we're dead.
Why would we be dead if they bring out the
Killed
Rainbow
by the
Squad?
power of friendship.
Pokemon Mystery
Alright.
Dungeon Rainbow Rocket Time.
Oh no.
Oh no.
I don't know.
Let's go and
every-
wrap this up real quick. Lyndon, something you liked, something you felt could have been improved, burning thought or idea.
I generally kind of liked everything, but my favorite thing was I think Taldarius's character and the insults, because that the moment you start doing that, the first thing that popped in my head was the Monty Python stuff. I'm just like So,
Hey, they weren't threats. It was a promise. He followed through.
I didn't have time to shorten all of the tables and chairs on one leg, but I had enough time to peek in and knock that over.
yeah. As for something that can be improved, there's nothing like personally that I had an issue with besides it's what has already been gone over with the kind of length between scenes, but I also had more time this scene, I feel like, than I normally have in anyway, so it's more just like not as a player, it's an issue for me so much as I noticed it probably was an issue for everybody who had to kind of wait, and then kind of talking over each other didn't help with some of that. Burning thought or idea, what would have happened had I just tried to smack the guy with my thing there? The milk splash is one, but I think I know how that probably would have went had that not been able to also knock the door down. And my biggest burning thought or idea here is I wonder what'll happen if we get that flower and bring it back here, because I feel like the biggest thing we're going to have here is if we can't directly get to that other adventuring party, we could have an issue, because without their backup, we might be in trouble with the amount of Alabaster Gleam that it's kind of hinted at. So.
Okay. And finally, Werenimal. Something you liked, something you felt could have been improved, burning thought or idea.
I really liked the session. I liked the time we just got to like RP a bit, and how we got into town, and we just sort of kind of acting, and we split off and started doing things. So I like that. I also liked Talterius' the character so far. That's also good. And then what I could be improved. There was points I wish I said things, but I didn't think of it at the time. Like I wish I pressed or said more things to the Alabaster Gleam guy. Like he mentioned that he knew the guy who was running things in Starlight, and I didn't press him on that or ask about that, which I did. And then bring that idea. Amos wants to do a violence. He wants both revenge for him hitting Jolene, and he doesn't want, like, he wants this shit. He's like tired of this shit at this point, and he's like, I want this to stop. So he's ready to like fight these people.
All right.
I will say you were very active this session, Wernie.
For my thoughts on the matter, the thing I liked, you all were focused. more so than we've been in other sessions. I'm glad to see that people took the opportunities as they were presented to them, even if the opportunities weren't always exactly in like the best possible light. You took a few risks and some of them paid off, which is good. I did enjoy the role playing. I think the role playing for this session was rather good. Kind of like was just mentioned, Wernimal. I think you did a good job. You did an extended bit of role playing there in around our early to mid session, uh, which I think was really good. I want to see a lot more of that. So definitely don't be afraid to do those kind of extended things. I will admit the scenes did go on a little bit longer than I wanted, than I would have preferred, but that's just something that we're going to just figure out. We'll figure out the time segments for ourselves as we go along, and we'll figure out like, okay, this scene needs a little bit longer, this scene needs a little bit shorter. I'm sure we'll get there, so I'm not honestly too worried about that. And yeah, you all made a lot of progress. You probably made more progress in this one session than you made in the past 5. So honestly, again, good job to everyone. I'm very happy with how today's session turned out. Obviously, I can't give any burning thoughts or ideas, but if I had to give something in terms of improvement, let me think. Something that I'd like perhaps to see a little bit more is don't be afraid to just occasionally interject with your character just doing something. Like literally, hey, I'm going to sit over here, I'm going to stand in a corner, I'm going to pick my nose, I don't care. Give your character a little bit of that life by just simply saying like, okay, my character is going to do this, or they're going to listen attentively. It helps to keep you involved with the sessions, and at the same time isn't necessarily those long drawn out discussions. So definitely don't be afraid of that.
Do you mean like the sort of thing where, like I mentioned, that like, you know, the sound of like metal clattering to the ground?
Yeah.
Exactly. You know, just to show that your character is there, they're present, and they're still active. Because I know it's pretty easy to want to fall into the thing where like, oh, my character's not involved, I'm just gonna stay quiet.
I will say I did have Argus, you know, over by the cart, but that was specifically because I fully expected someone to go mess with our stuff or our friends.
Oh yeah, I think you all made fairly logical decisions. That's not the kind of thing I'm talking about. I'm just talking about like within the scenes and whatnot.
I was worried.
Yeah. I think you all did a good job for tonight. I really do want to see more of this kind of session, so keep it up. Obviously, we'll see how the next couple of sessions go, but if they turn out to be like this, then I think we'll be just fine.
Hugs, everyone.
Oh.
Yeah.
But yeah, any final thoughts from anybody?
I just want to say you all are exceptional beings.
Hurrah.
We're
Wait,
adorable. Now we need a group hug image.
All right, then for the recording, thank you all so much for watching Starlight Expeditions. I hope you all enjoyed the session just as much as I hope my players enjoyed it. And if you're watching on YouTube, thank you so much for being able to sit through and watch the whole thing through. You are awesome. We will be having another session next Saturday, starting at 9 o'clock Mountain Time. So feel free to come around if you'd like to see this live. Thank you all again so much, and you all have yourself a wonderful night.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight for the Starlight Expeditions. Check out our website, zgfgaming.com. We've got links for our Discord, Telegram, Twitter, Patreon, and more. They're on the website as well as down in the description below through our link tree. Thank you to my patrons, tippers, and subscribers. It is very much because of your guys' support that these streams are able to come to you all. Whether your support is financial or just with your time, it is greatly appreciated. Do consider becoming a patron yourself over at patreon.com/zgfgaming. It is one of the best ways to keep these streams coming, but you can also support by just coming by and hanging out with us, as well as by subscribing to our YouTube, grabbing some packs of cards through Stream Loots, and otherwise just being awesome. And don't forget to check out the links to all of my friends down in the description below if you're watching this on YouTube. They are awesome individuals. You definitely should go check them out. But for now, thank you all so much for joining, and I bid you the most fondest adieu.
All right, we